Good day and welcome to the Deadman Annihilation Finale. I'm PureSpam or Ian, and I'm joined by my good friend and legend of the space, B0aty.
Ian, how are you doing today?
I am very well, very excited to get to cast alongside you once more again. And how about yourself, Adam?
I'm very excited. I don't really mind too much myself of playing Deadman Finales, but casting it and getting to see everything and everyone that is playing it, I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is an absolute pleasure to be here once again for another year of carnage for this Deadman Finale. And to those of you at home, thank you so much for joining us. Today's finale is set to be as chaotic as always. So, for the past 3 weeks, the Deadman Annihilation worlds have been live, with players spinning up fresh accounts to create the deadliest PvP builds possible. In these worlds, PvP has been active pretty much everywhere. There's been XP multipliers, drop rate increases, breaches featuring deadly bosses, and some spicy loots to match. And of course, the power-boosting sigils. Now, progressing in this game mode has been pretty fast, but it's been equally as fast to get KO'd out of nowhere by Sea Engineer's Darrock bomb. And with each death, players have forfeited everything they have on them to their opponent.
Now that the 3-week preparation phase has passed and everyone has locked in their build, we're ready for the final showdown. First of all, for those of you that have played this season's Deadman, but have chosen not to see it through till the bitter end, thank you very much for playing. We hope you enjoy those sweet main game cosmetics if you earned enough points to unlock them. For those seeing it all the way through to the finale, the format will be split into 4 separate battles, depending on combat level. So 4 fights happening back to back and 1 winner per bracket. We'll be kicking off the first combat bracket in about 15 minutes with levels 45 to 60. If you played in bracket 1 but did not exceed 45 combat, you won't be able to log into your Annihilation account for the finale. After bracket 1, we will see bracket 2, consisting of levels 61 to 80, bracket 3, levels 81 to 95, and finally, bracket 4, level 96 plus. But there's a sneaky little change this year from the previous finales.
Absolutely. Players are going to be teleported to Diamond's Crater, home of Bounty Hunter, where deadly fog is going to slowly push contenders into a final area or engulf them. But for the first phase of the finale, it won't be a free-for-all. All players will be randomly split into 2 teams, separated by the color of their cape. Ally damage will be completely disabled during this phase, so even solo players participating in the finale will have a fighting chance. Now, once the opposing factions have whittled each other down to lower numbers, allies will become enemies, and an all-out free-for-all war will commence. The last person standing in each combat bracket will be crowned victorious.
Speaking of winners, we have some incredible prize bundles for our 4 victors of this year's tournament that we can take a look at right now. First, for the winner of our levels 45 to 60 combat bracket, as well as the winners of our 61 to 80 combat bracket, they will each receive from Youtooz a 3,787-piece Lumbridge Castle brick set, complete with blue flags, shields, cannons, cannonballs, barrels, and statue guards.
Plus, thanks to our new partner, MADRINAS, a mango and pineapple charged refresher drink with old school RuneScape shaker cup. Here's a little video of Jad sampling it himself.
For our levels 81 and 95 and level 96 plus combat brackets, they will win 4 Youtooz collectible figures. We're talking a rune armor figure that looks like he's just walked away from a legendary fight with Alvarg, although he did forget his anti-dragon fire shield, complete with rune scimitar, full helm, and the iconic Ardoin cape.
A dragon armor figure adorning the classic dragon scimitar, the medium helmet, the chain body, plate legs, and the dragon boots to match. Is that an amulet of glory and a legends cape I spy, Adam?
And the 3rd and 4th Youtooz collectible figures, Tim and Crunchy, are back to sit upon their winners' monitors, ready to tag along with their next PvP encounter.
And finally, our 81 to 95 and 96 plus combat bracket winners will also win one of StarForge's beautiful old school RuneScape keyboards, as well as a handcrafted, hand-painted Zuck Artisan Keycap. Wow.
If you fancy getting your hands on any of these products yourself, check out the links in the description or the pinned comments.
With that being said, we are so close to going live with our first combat bracket. But just before we do, we can't talk Deadman without talking about the Deadman All-Stars. Now, if you missed the announcement during Old School's Winter Summit, the finale of Deadman All-Stars Season 3 will be our first ever in-person US event.
All the action of Deadman All-Stars Season 3 finale will unfold live in the Rosemont Theater in Chicago, USA, on the 20th of June, where 30 of the biggest RuneScape creators will form 6 powerhouse teams to do battle at the highest level of competition.
Now, tickets will be available very soon so that you can also see your favorite J-mods, immerse yourself in the electric atmosphere, and, of course, take home a piece of the moment with some exclusive commemorative merch.
And speaking of merch, we have got our first look at some of all the All-Stars merch that you will be able to purchase. This is just a teaser. There are still some goodies that we're keeping secret for now.
There's going to be very limited stock of the actual events. The best way to get your hands on this limited edition Deadman All-Stars merch will be to add them as an extra at your checkout at a very special early bird price when you order your tickets.
We're going to have more news on ticket availability very soon, so please do watch this space and be ready because we cannot wait for Deadman All-Stars.
Oh, I'm so excited. Now, while we wait for production to signal that we're ready for our first combat bracket, how have you found this year's event, B0aty? Because obviously you've been harnessing the power of the points and going for rank 1. How did it go for you? How's it been? How's the experience?
I'm going to start immediately with the loser mentality. I would never have got rank 1. Unfortunately, the person who locked rank 1 in is far superior that I never even got close at that point. But I held rank 2 for a while, which I'm pretty happy about. Other than that, no, Deadman for points. I enjoyed it. I fell off a bit towards the end. It was a bit like you can play an indefinite amount of time and you can't actually complete every single task. So there's a certain motivation that does kind of change after a while. But playing for points, it was very enjoyable because, again, it did kind of turn Deadman mode into sort of a league. But instead of a league where you can only choose certain regions, you have the access to the entire map, but at the same time, PvP is also enabled everywhere, which on paper just sounds fantastic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the leagueification of Deadman mode, as well as the more casual, friendly approach, getting rid of the bank keys, everyone just had such a great time from the players that are looking for those incredible new rewards, such as the Boa Ferdina, which everyone's looking for right now, and have worked really hard to get. So the PKers have had a much more active kind of play style with people just playing the whole way through for the whole 3 weeks. I personally have had an absolute blast too, playing with some of our content creators, having fun. We'll have to get you on board next time so you can join us as well. But yeah, it's been amazing. I think Manx is absolutely cooked, and I think everyone can agree this has been one of the best demo modes we've experienced since, the first one way back in the day.
I honestly would say, with what you just said, I think this is the best Deadman they've released. I was mentioning before, like, if you look back at the original Deadman over 10 years ago, or whenever that released, no one really knew what was going on. There was no metas, there was no nothing, it was just go, and it was fantastic. But on paper, if they released that today, and it was just called Deadman Nostalgia, I just don't think anyone would be playing it longer than 2 days. Because back in the day, if you died, 28 of your bank slots were gone, all of them.
And you lost experience as well. It was so brutal back then. So yeah, like I said before, I think making it a lot more casual friendly meant a bit more inclusive. Everyone's had a really good time to get those rewards and just try their hand at PvP. Like I saw, for example, Sardako and some of the new WoW players actually jumping on demo mode on release and just having an absolute ball, getting involved in the multi-fights, going to the breaches, checking out the Deadman chest. There have been so many changes. And no, I agree with you fully. It has been the best demo mode we've had.
Yeah, I'm curious to what's going to happen for the next Deadman, though. We had, I don't know the order off my top of my head, but it was like Deadman Apocalypse, then we had Deadman Armageddon, and then we had Deadman Annihilation. We have Deadman All-Stars coming. What's the next Deadman going to be? Because it has to be, keep the A's going.
I mean, with what Manx did this time around, I'm also excited to see what kind of new monsters they add to the breaches next time. The sigil changes, of course. I think a lot of people found that the power of some of the weapons, the Kapesh, for example, or maybe if you're unfortunate enough to be Dino sitting at a bank, having a javelin lobbed at your head when you're not paying attention, taking you out in a matter of seconds. Or, like I mentioned earlier, Sea Engineer with the adroit Darrock bombing strategy. It's been carnage for a while, and the carnage doesn't stop. The finale is about to be upon us, and this multi-war that's going to take place, it is going to be an annihilation. It's going to be absolutely splendid to watch and witness. And I'm glad to have you back alongside me, because we've casted before, but it's been 10 plus years now.
It has been probably over a decade, I think, since we last casted. I did like my own little unofficial cast of the last All-Stars when I wasn't playing. And it kind of sparked that I really wanted to do it again. Yeah. And then obviously you were there like, oh, do you want to actually cast the Deadman finale? And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of doing the multi-wars. 1v1s are a bit more what I enjoy. So we're not enjoying multi. If I can watch multi, commentate it alongside yourself and everything, that is exactly what I want it to be. So to actually get the offer to do this, I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm going to play for points up until whenever, and then I'm going to go cast the finale.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also a big fan of the 1v1s, but the multi-finale, nonetheless, is going to be so sick to watch. Every single clan has been reaching out to me, all of the big names, and the smaller content creator groups as well. People getting excited, talking about the feuds, the drama. We're going to get all into that when we start seeing the brackets and seeing how the different teams play it out. I'm really excited to see both the strategic proponents of how people place themselves, how the chokeholds of the Daemon's Crater, the Bounty Hunter area itself, as we experienced in the factions, of course. Unfortunately, my team went in a bit too quickly, and we were a bit feared, weren't we? I think going into it, didn't play maybe the best. Maybe some of the other teams and clans that are playing right now are going to take some feedback based on our strategy when we came last place. But it is a great area for this final. I
do think as well, Deadman Factions was kind of a content creator only sort of finale. This is anyone's game. Everyone can play, Anyone in all the brackets can just go up, go to the finale, and like you said, because the friendly fire is basically not enabled, you can't be killed by your own team. There could just be someone that's never played a Deadman before. This was, again, one of the most accessible Deadman modes. It wasn't too brutal. It was very player-friendly while also being very cutthroat. Like, if a player actually got on you, you could die. Like, 85 God Swords were happening in the third bracket. People's health was 85. You get hit once, you're just dead instantly. Happens a lot. Many people died. Because it wasn't too brutal, bank, rebuild, you're still playing.
Exactly. The removal of the bank keys, I think, was arguably the best change we saw. And talking about the weapons as well, we spoke about the Javelins, the Darrock Sacks, West Ham's Dragon Dagger. Now, that thing was disgusting. It was taking people's heads off left and right in the banks. And once again, going into this final as well, I am so excited to see how people play it. Now, obviously, the whole servers, every single bracket being split into these two teams, it does give the solo player a chance to really get stuck in, to try and maybe a bit like how C Engineer did last time, weasel their way through to the last few people, and maybe the clans are going at each other, trying to take each other on, take down certain members that they've got feuds with and this drama with, and then Billy Bob Jr. just makes it out somehow to the final few people. It's anyone's game.
Hey, if Billy Bob Jr. is playing right now, he's like, what? We'll see if he wins. But so we obviously have bracket 1 coming up in a moment. The combat levels, of course, is 45 as the minimum, and obviously 60 as the max. I'm guessing almost everyone that has prepared for this is going in at 60 combat. There's no reason not to,
Of course.
Best build you can actually do. What are you expecting? 60 combat, there's not really too much you can do to sort of build your account to have much. Where would you put your stats to keep yourself 60 combat as like the best chance to win or the most fun you'd have in the finale? What would you do?
So I'd be saying 60 combat, first of all, every single clan, if they've been competing in the bracket 3, the bracket 4, it is so quick to make a 60 combat pure, especially with the accelerated experience rates we've been having over the past few weeks. With 10 times experience rate, people are going to be making accounts really quickly. Mage, range, obviously, in multi-wars, you want that AoE damage. The Chinchompas are going to be flying left and right. Those cute little critters are going to be exploding. And then also Barrage, of course. Some players will have some low HP builds. They're going to be very squishy, could be taken down easily. But if they're blood barraging, ice barraging, they've got the Sigil of Onslaught, of course, which is increasing their radius from 9x9 to 11x11. I think pure builds in the 60 combat are going to be ones that are going to do the most DPS. But then at the same time, you've got players like Dino, who's made a tank with 99 defense, walking around in full Justicia, trying to get himself as much tank bonus as possible. I think he's got an Elysian Spirit Shield. So I imagine most clans will be trying to kind of defend their key members, maybe the strategists, the callers in the back lines, whilst everyone else, all the pures, are the ones, the DPS machines going in and trying to keep their leaders alive for as long as possible.
Yeah, if you remember the last Deadman finale that happened, there were a lot of tank builds that were still alive. But the difference between that finale and this finale is this one doesn't have the monsters spawning. So therefore, anyone that's tank, the only damage this tank is going to be taking is either A, going to be the fog that will be coming in the Daemon's Crater in the finale, or B, it's going to be from players. But obviously the players at 60 combat, they don't have the highest stats. So to even get through 99 defense, just this year Elysian, that alone is tough. But do you think that because of the lack of monsters, the DPS on the lower defense accounts might actually be better than the tanks? Because if there's no monsters, and everyone's just attacking the tank, they're just going to fall over.
I think you're right, as well as the fact that obviously last time we did see the tanks kind of taking the win on the lower brackets. So if anything, they're going to have big targets over their head. If you see a guy walking around with an Elysian Spirit Shield, you're going to call him out to your teammates. You're going to try and take him out quickly. Because especially for the Pures, the guys that are actually armed to the teeth, doing all the damage, actually getting involved in the battle, they don't want to see some guy that's sitting on the sidelines with a big door in his hands trying to just out-survive everybody else, and trying to pick up brews off the floor and just let everyone else, take each other down. I'm so excited. And once again, this bracket 1, is extremely accessible, which means every single clan is going to be, making sure they've got members there. All the open friends chats, streamers like Odablock, like Dino, like Skillspec. Skillspec's had a big army of the Skill Smorks or the Smork Spams. I combined communities with him to the start of demo mode to play together. And, oh man, it's going to be so sick. But with that being said, we've got to pause for a moment. Mod Sani has a very important message for us regarding the 96+ Combat Bracket Worlds. So we want to take a second to really discuss the top...
Yeah, sorry. So what has actually happened is 2,000 players have logged into the world. The world was first come, first served. Unfortunately, some people have played all 3 weeks for this finale, and they can't actually get in. So Mod Sani will update us all on what will happen.
You take it.
Hello. Yeah, we just wanted to take a second to discuss the top bracket and the players who are unable to log in, because we've seen you in Twitch chat and on Reddit, of course. A single game world for the bracket was sufficient for previous events, and we didn't expect the capacity to fill up so soon. That's on us, and we underestimated the amount of players who attempted to play. Unfortunately, as prizes are involved with terms and conditions set, we're subject to UK competition laws, and doing something as simple as just adding a new game world for that bracket becomes very convoluted. That is on us to resolve, and we're investigating what we can do for those players who weren't able to log in. Once we've had a chance to work with the legal team and the game team, Jagex will share more next week. I will hand over to B0aty and PureSpam until we're ready to go into our first combat bracket. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, Sani. I mean, we were just saying how, how successful this Deadman tournament was, how much more accessible it was, to the point where I think within minutes of that Bracket 4 World opening, it just got absolutely rammed with players who, again, just so excited for the carnage. It is unfortunate, but hey, last time round, it didn't even fill up. So maybe that's an attest to how hard Manked has cooked and how great this demo mode has been.
I think that's the... it obviously doesn't still add a solution to the problem or anything, but I think that is one thing that... Again, like you said, how good this Deadman is. To even have that many people playing in a higher bracket 3 weeks in, for it to actually hit that level, population count so fast, is basically, like you said, how good this Deadman was, how accessible it was. Most people, they could get in, maybe they got the 12,000 points and then they logged out. They got what they wanted with the points, but a lot of people are playing beyond that to this last day. And again, as they've mentioned, the world filled up so fast. In the previous one, the world didn't even fill up. So I think that means Deadman is definitely moving in the right direction.
We're so back, baby.
But as Sani said, there is obviously some things going on, and we'll see what we can do. Other than that, we are ready to jump into Bracket 1. This is the 45 combat to 60 combat bracket, and we're going to jump in immediately here. Ian, start us off. What are we seeing here?
Well, it's a bit of a ghost town right now. Players are about to be teleported into the crater. And if we jump cameras right now, here they are flying in. You see twos being spammed everywhere with players using their overload potions, which will give them a huge boost in stats. They can actually cast stronger spells, for example, the barrages, or in general, just have more magic defense. You see a few chinchompas flying some magic shortbow specs. I see javelins in the distance as well going off the projectiles. Looks like in this corner, one of the clans is starting to gather their members. Now, of course, as they flew into this crater, they were all spread out in random positions. So most likely, the team captains, the strategists, the callers were saying, get to the northeast corner. Let's gather our members. And this is one chokehold. Now, obviously, the final area is going to be just north of the center, to the right of the screen where you see right now. And around this area, if you're the first in here, as we found out in the Deadman factions, Adam, you just get annihilated by everyone. So you want to slowly push in and try and, leave it to the last second if you can.
Yeah, and as you can see here, there are two teams. What could happen here is obviously when you're split, you do not know which team you're going to be in. But for viewers, as you can clearly see, there are going to be yellow capes, and there are also going to be blue capes.
What's that I saw on the right-hand side of the screen, Adam? Is that a guy in full black gear, just a black longsword as well? He doesn't look like he's maybe geared as best he can do. I see some split bark warriors. I see a tank at the bottom, the Iron Kite Shield G, adorning his best clue scroll items from the Treasure Hunter sigil, I'm sure. You get a few Mystic Warriors, some 20 defense builds. Most people that you see in front of us, though, they are armed with the volatile Nightmare Staff, the corrupted version. We see a tank in the mix as well, the Justicia we talked about earlier, the DFS as well. But most people, DPS-wise, they're going to be utilizing magic to heal themselves up again and also to do as much damage as possible in that AoE sphere.
Yes, we're going to have to play a game, Ian, me and you. Although we are going to be casting for you guys tonight, Spot the Elysian. We're going to have to play it.
Oh, there's one right
bottom right, straight away. There he is, bottom right. So I want to quickly jump over to you. This is the yellow team right now. And if we jump over to the blue team, this is where they are. Now, if you spot in the very top left corner of the screen, that is roughly the finale area. That is the north of the map, and this team looks like they are gathering just to the west side, whereas the other team, if we jump back, they are actually on the very northeast corner. You can actually see the compass on the screen there to get that. But if we jump back on the blue team, can we spot an Elysian over there? But other than that, it does look like both teams are all gathered. Very, very mage heavy, I think. I've seen a lot of volatile stuffs, a lot of Zorials, a guy dancing there as well. But range, there is a crossbow here, there is a crossbow there. But it does look like this is going to be a big Ice Barrage and Blood Barrage finale.
Absolutely. And once again, the fog is what's going to move these players slowly north up to that middle section just north of the center. And most players, they won't want to jump straight into the mix and use all their supplies too early. They have to think strategically about this. And at least they've, gathered with their teammates to, slowly path in there. Oh my God, the yellow team capes, there are so many in that quadrant. The downside is being this clumped up. If another team flies in there, starts sending their AoE spells, they could just wipe them out in an absolute second.
Yeah, and as well with the Sigil of Onslaught that you mentioned earlier, a Barrage spell, a Chin Chomper, anything with AoE will hit up to 9 opponents. If you're using the Sigil of Onslaught, you can hit up to 11 opponents. And as you can see, the blue team has actually moved into the center, which means the yellow team is just to the northeast of them right now. We can see items on the ground from people who have unfortunately already fallen. We haven't got any fog coming in yet. If anyone is quite familiar with Last Man Standing, a fog mechanic will push players into the final area and will then also be hitting in the final area. So that means if the final area is this location, the blue team have already got a lockdown, and the yellow team might get hit by fog earlier, which will drain their supplies.
Yeah, I think, honestly, being first into this section could be a major advantage as well. But yeah, they're really spread out right now. You see some tanks at the back in the left-hand side. You're going to try and stay alive for as long as possible. But you need all of your members really hitting in the mix. Because if they're not getting involved, they're going to be a massive disadvantage. Like over here, this team, they're just waiting, biding their time. But if they get caught by the fog, they'll take so much unavoidable damage.
And the thing with the fog as well, if the other team... Oh, it does look like yellow team might be moving into the blue team right now. From the southeast corner, it does look like they're going in. They're going to try and take this over. But when the fog does come in, if the blue team find that, they can freeze the yellow team as they run in with the fog. The barrage will catch everybody unfrozen, and they might get absolutely eliminated. But it does look like yellow team may be running into the finale. They're coming through the choke point right now.
Yeah, but if they get caught there, though, in that choke point, it's such a small area that they can get through. If someone does start throwing barrages, but it looks like they have pushed through, and now it's a big wave they've got to break through at the moment. I would say that it looks like the yellow team, actually, is really pushing very hard. The blue team falling like flies, like lambs to the slaughter, Adam. It's an absolute mess of a battle right here.
If we jump into the blue team right now, I can tell you we won't be seeing every single player as of right now, but there is a lot of people going down on each side. I think I've seen more blue team fall than the yellow team at this moment, but it does look like they maybe have just took the element of surprise to actually rush in. The blue team may not have expected that. There was no fog that we saw. They, of course, will not know that. But there is no fog on the board right now. And the yellow team have pushed in, removing the blue team from where they were. They are now fighting over the center of this final area. I
think the yellow team spread a lot better from north to south, so they can't get clumped up as easily. But saying that, right now, we're seeing people fall so quickly. Now, if one of the teams can rotate into that northern area, into the altar itself, that could give them a significant advantage. Let me switch cameras over to the different POV, and look at that. Both teams taking a lot of damage. It's very hard to tell, honestly, at this point, which side may be winning. Now, when one team falls entirely, it will become a free-for-all finale of battle. But right now, both units just taking so many casualties at the moment, Adam.
And if we speak about the sigil of the onslaught earlier that changes your barrages from 9x9, your chin chompers to 11 people. What we also may see right now is a lot of people running a sigil called Pious Protection, which if you use it will grant you 35% damage reduction if you're praying against the correct style. However, you will take 5% more damage. And in a bracket like this, a lot of people have very low defense, which means if you see in this center part, people's health bars are just going down. You can see the chin chompers. Even the barrages are hitting through, but people are falling like flies. We have a war going on right now. I hope all the brackets have this level of bloodshed, because this is great.
Yeah, this is unreal right now. And obviously the Chinchompers you just mentioned about before, on the higher brackets, the Chinchomper DPS isn't really as much as the barrage, but being one defense, a lot of these guys, very low defense, the Chinchompers are going to do so much substantial damage, especially once again with that Pious Protection sigil coming in, increasing damage by 5%. If you get a few well-placed Chinchompers, they'll just combust and implode on your opponents. And we see so much guas going on in the middle right now. I think the blue team is falling so much quicker than the yellows at the moment.
It is quite hard to say, but it does look like the fog may be coming in. I'm seeing a lot of one-hit splats. I do not know if that's just consistency, which is another sigil that guarantees your hit to actually hit over 1 damage. But if the fog is pushing in, then people are going to fall even more. I would really love to know the communication in any level of caller right now for these teams. They will have callers saying what to do. It's a fighting over this no man's land in the center. There's someone looting items. I'm curious if there is anyone on the blue team that's infiltrated on the yellow team side or vice versa. I don't know if they could possibly do that or if they would fall instantly. But it looks like people on the back lines aren't even actually engaging right now. People are just going to the front, engaging, and just getting wiped.
I think that's a big mistake right now. Maybe some clans are like, oh, let everyone else go as cannon fodder and whittle down their supplies. But if you're not taking part, if you're not actually getting involved, your team will lose, and then you're just out for the count. I think all of these players need to just start pushing, start taking down as many of the opposition as they can, because if they can't, their whole team will wipe, and with that, their chance of winning the Bracket 1 finale.
The fog definitely hasn't come in now, because I'm seeing a couple of people in high defense gear. The tanks, you know, there is Torva, there is Crystal, there is Elijah's.
Oh, this is a looter's dream, isn't it?
This is, I mean, if I was here, I'm known as the vacuum of this game. If I was there, I would not even be fighting. I would just be picking items up, even though all these items are going to just delete from the game once this finale finishes. But what people can be looting that could be useful: brews, they heal your health. Restores maybe not as important, because a lot of people will have infinite prayer with the eternal belief sigil. Will there be sharks, manta rays, any of that stuff? And the blood barrages as well on everyone going around. If you get caught in the middle, this guy right now, the blue cape, falls as soon as I pull him. Even now, below the bottom of the screen, how long does this guy survive? He's got Pray Magic up. He dies immediately. There's another guy frozen next to him. He's gone as well. The guy to the side gone. You get caught in that middle, you are going down immediately. The fog has hit. Let's see what happens. The chaos begins.
Now you're getting hit by twos. The pressure is on. You have to get involved. Have to start using your supplies more wisely, because everyone's going to be losing all of their brews. Now the blood barrage for sustainability. But we see people's health bars just dropping so drastically, so quickly. We need to have clans hopefully trying to rotate, try and get into that middle space. But a second ago, there was a massive divide with nobody in the middle. Now it's just every single team, every man for himself, flying across the screen. Twos going, everyone's just being hit, non-stop damage. Still, there's some people just waiting at the back, Adam. They're not getting involved. They're trying to outlast as best they can, but they need to start taking out the opponents, because if they don't, that's their chance of taking the finale over.
I mean, for what we're seeing right now is anybody that tries to run and grab a supply in the center is immediately just dying. And therefore, anyone that's at the back is maintaining their supplies, only tanking the fog right now, and is probably just not going to get killed by anybody. So right now, I would say the best strategy you could do, obviously there is calling going on, and you can't just stand there passive. You do need people at the front, or the other team will just steamroll over your team, and you will go down. But right now, I'm curious to what you think. There's a lot of people low defense. There's a lot of people with magic. But there are obviously the tanks as well. And going back to the sigils I mentioned, the tanks are praying magic, and they're tanking those chin chompers. These cannot tank the chin chompers. If you get caught and the chin chompers fly, you're going to take a lot of damage very quick.
Yeah, I think right now a great advantage and strategic benefit that a lot of the teams are going to have is if they have enough members with those chins. Because all I'm seeing is a vast majority of players here, 90% plus, are using Blood Barrage. And you might think, oh, but it gives you heals. You know, you'll outlast better like that. But ultimately, taking down your opponents will give you a better chance of making it down to your team winning, and then winning that free-for-all as well. Now, the comms right now in these Discords and these team speaks must be absolutely horrendous. Look north, Jimmy, get on this guy here, the guy south. I honestly don't know who's winning this one at the moment, Adam. I think both teams seem to be kind of even, actually. I think maybe the guys on the right might be a little bit less numbers-wise, maybe?
I
Maybe the
think
yellow
right
team?
now we will not be able to know. The fog is now hitting 4s. It's going to keep going up. Eventually, it's going to hit 8s. It's going to hit 16s, whatever the highest damage is. We do not know. But other than that, it is also extremely difficult to tell. We do not know how many players are on each team, but all we do know is that when one team wipes, there will be one cape color remaining on the stage, and then they will battle it out together to see who will actually win. Right now, if you're a blue cape, the blue cape are your friends. They are your team. But the moment, assuming the blue capes manage to eliminate all of the yellow capes, those blue cape teams will unfortunately become the enemies, and it is therefore a free-for-all until the last man standing.
Oh, I just saw a tank fall on the right-hand side. I think I saw a few assassins being told to neutralize the enemy tank. Obviously, last time round, we saw the tanks making it the furthest, having that, extra defenses to be able to tank as much of the chompers as they possibly can. Tanks staying at the back lines. But there's another one goes down on the right-hand side for the yellow team. I think the yellow team are falling much faster than the blues.
I feel like the fog's doing a crazy amount of damage on the outside. The 30s. There's a Torva guy on the right. He's taking 30s. If anyone's stepping too far right now outside the fog, you have to now be inside this inner square area. If you're not, you're getting hit huge damage. The stage
there's
is
an assassin. There he is.
Does he go down? There's 2 Elijahs in the bottom right corner. Can the Starhammer champion do it? Come on, he's got a Phoenix necklace on. He's going to survive. He puts another Phoenix necklace on. Can he get the damage? Come on, take down the Elijah. I think, is he hitting the Elijah guy or is he hitting the Crystal Shield?
He is, but now the Elijah guys are trying to flick prey melee to mitigate damage. One does actually go down. Well, obviously,
the Justicia's gone down. The Elijah still stands. The Elijah still stands, but the Crystal Shield guy with Justicia's gone down. It does look like the tanks this time around.
It's Modash with his pint in hand. He's made it through to the finale, Adam. No, the tank right there, right in front of us.
Right, I thought Modash was playing and you so confused me there. And
he's got his mug in hand.
There's an Ale of the Gods running around there right now. But I mean, I want to grab it right now if we can change the thing. Right now, from the bird's eye view, how many tanks are standing against how many one defense? It
Honestly,
does look like a lot
more.
of tanks are standing. But right now, again, there is no monsters.
And
There's no breach. The only damage is fog.
Adam, what's going on?
Technical difficulty?
No.
They've
moved over to the Coliseum.
Welcome to the final twist of the Deadman. Players remaining 90. There are still teams. Is there a team? It looks like all the capes have been removed.
Yep, it's a free-for-all. That's right. Both teams have dissolved. The last 100 players have been teleported into the Coliseum where they'll battle it out in a free-for-all. Out of these players, I do see at least 20 tanks, but in such a small space, they're confined to have to battle. They can't hide in the corners like they could before. So now any clans that are together will be able to, even if they were split down the middle before, when they're put into 2 teams, they can now alliance once again to take down enemy units.
I just saw a guy in the middle just fall down, and he was wearing absolutely nothing. He had the Bob outfit on. He had nothing. There's a guy there with the starter gear, and these guys aren't getting targeted because there's no reason. They're not a threat, but they're still there. They might have inventories full of Saradomin brews, manta rays, anything. Right now, we have people stood in the corners. If you look at all 4 pillars right now in the Coliseum, there is a tank to the bottom left with a 3rd age on. There's a tank moving to the top left. Top left, there's more tanks. Bottom right as well. Do we have any Elijahs right now? It does look like there is a lot of tanks still. There's an Elijah in the middle. There's actually an Elijah guy in the middle, crossbowing another Elijah guy who just moved to the southwest.
There's a guy dancing him as he goes down in his Deadman starter gear. I even see a guy in full studded at the bottom left of the screen right now as well. How have these guys managed to make it this far? Looking around, still more tanks than anything else, but you do see the Pures staying alive using the Blood Barrage technique to keep their HP nice and high. The tanks are also getting involved. On the right-hand side, we see one with the throwing knives, obviously being able to heal back a bit of damage of every single damage that they deal, every single one. It will help, will make the difference and try and take down the opposition. A few tanks also with crossbows, some just keeping on the crossyear for the magic defense bonus as well. Right now, I really hope a Pure takes it. Honestly, the guys on the front line, they're actually taking part. They're trying to defeat their opponent. A tank could win, though.
A tank could win. A tank might win. But again, if I had to root for anybody right now, it's either going to be an underdog like the guy in the studded or simply put someone that's been doing damage from the beginning. But going back to the sigils, you said throwing a knife with the sigil of consistency will guarantee one damage. And with the sigil of restoration, which you've not spoke about, it will actually heal you 10% of the damage dealt, but it will round up. So if you throw a knife and it hits a 1 guaranteed, it will heal you a 1 every single time. I think that's what a lot of the tanks are doing. Or not a lot of them. Some of them are wearing crossbows, but that extra damage might be enough to take them over the edge.
And some of them as well are actually using airstrike. You see a few airstrikes going across. You're thinking, why have these guys not trained magic up? They've had 3 weeks to do so. Well, a lot of these tanks have 99 defense. They have very low magic builds. But with one of the sigils, the starter magic sigil, they're actually able to get a heal off. I think it's a 30% chance or something very low to get a little bit of a heal proc. And it doesn't work as well in multi when there's a massive clan happening because it only works 1 per target. But here, when they can single people out, it could make the difference having a bit more survivability. I even saw a stack of purple sweets dropping to the floor there. Maybe, that will offset some of the chip damage of the fog, which is taking people down left and right. Now, of course, you don't want to be stuck in a clump. At the top left of the map right now, we see a lot of players all glued together. Blood Barrage, obviously an AoE spell, as well as the Chinchombas, like we said before, are going to take those players out very quickly. Looking down at the bottom left, we have quite a few tanks trying to stay alive, but a few more assassins, really. The Ballista I see, Heavy Ballista, bottom right, flying around, trying to take people's heads off. Could probably smash like a 40 to a 50. Maybe you can hit through the Elysian as well if they get lucky enough. One of the tanks on the right-hand side about to go down. The Heart Prayer. We're seeing absolutely people trying to make it as far as they possibly can, using any means necessary. The Redemption Flicks coming up as best they can. Down to what? 30 people now, Adam?
33 people, players remaining in the top right for anyone that really wants to follow this. And as of right now, everywhere I look, I see tanks. I think we are almost at the end of all of the 1 defense. And if I'm honest, I don't see anybody fighting right now. It is just tanks, tanks, and tanks. Who has prepared their best strategy? It looks like there's one guy left on the right side. He's in the dead center of the screen almost. He's getting knifed by that tank who's healing all the time. He looks like the last 1 defense guy left. But which tank right now? Are there any Elysians being worn right now? I believe all the Elysians may have gone down, but it looks like a tank victory. But this isn't fully about a tank victory. There's an Elysian in the center.
One of the tanks is wearing an Addy med helm, sorry, an Addy full helm and an Addy square shield. How has he made it alongside those other people in Bandos and Justicia and DFSs, Elysian Spirit Shields? What an absolute machine. I'm rooting for the guy in the starter staff now, honestly.
Well, I mean, that's an underdog. If he manages to get it, then that's just the thing. There's a couple of Elysians that are still here, but right now we can't see their inventories. But who has prepared the most? Because most definitely right now, Purple Sweets, one of the only, if not the only, stackable food that you can use to constantly heal. There's one guy in the center barraging still, keeping himself alive.
Yeah, it's actually keeping him alive, to be honest. Maybe he goes down here as we say that. Oh, it's such a shame. I was going to say, I saw him barraging a few piles there, and it actually did heal him up over what the 4 fog damage was dealing to him. Now, will these tanks decide to join forces and try and take down each other, or is it just going to be who can survive the longest with Redemption Flicks? At the top of the map, we see a few starting to fall, but the Redemption Flick spam, of course, Redemption, when you get down to, I believe it's under 20% health you heal based on how many prayer points you have. So if they have enough prayer potions and they're able to loot some off the ground as well, they can just endlessly keep that going with the 4 fogs hitting them.
Yeah, right now I saw some people that had the Ruinous Powers prayers on, which we didn't talk about much. We might see those in other brackets, but if you use that, I don't think you get the redemption. Unless, oh, never mind, you do. In the very bottom right, there is a guy with Ruinous Powers and Elysian. That is the redemption of that prayer book, but I had a feeling that could have been a bad strategy, but it looks like you've also got it. There's a God Sword in the very top. There is one guy with 1 defense that's still alive in the very top northwest corner, has just de-speared.
He's got a de-spear. That's so smart. Obviously nulling his opponent, so he's not able to eat through the Dragon Spear mechanics, and he's about to take this tank down. He's done such a great job of staying alive for so long. Once again, the tanks, they don't really have any damage output. Of course, some of them occasionally being able to use, you know, a little bit of the knife spam, or maybe the spell, as you see there, the Earth Strike, to try and get a bit of healing as well. But that guy with the God Sword, he has the potential. Everyone's low hit points to be able to take down a few targets and single them out.
There's quite a lot of purple sweet stacks on the ground. I was wondering why no one was taking them, but I'm guessing they've just got enough needed. But the fog is now hitting not enough, is it? 6s. And the purple sweets will only heal a maximum of 3 every 3 game ticks. And the fog is hitting every 3 game ticks, which means very shortly, I do believe, we will have a winner of the Bracket 1 Deadman Annihilation Finale right now. We do not know who it is, but the Addy Fullhelm guy is still alive.
He's got an
Elysian. We're all rooting for him. I am an unbiased commentator, but if that Addy Fullhelm guy wins, I am happy for him. Everyone is struggling, but right now, who has what it gets? The person in the top right has quite a lot of health, and the bottom center is also doing well. Purple Sweets are not good enough right now. Do they have Manta Rays? Do they have Saradon and Baruz? What are they going to do?
Oh, I see the Pure once again going for some snipes here, trying to assassinate whatever tanks he can to get that top victory. We're almost down to the final 10 players. players. He's got the God Sword in hand, but if he's been brewing the whole time, that does mean he's not going to have his stats boosted whatsoever unless he has the restores to also do the same. If he does hit, though, he has a chance to also heal himself some damage, of course, a bit like a Blood Fury on the main game. Everybody has that Restoration Sigil, able to heal themselves a little bit based on damage that they deal. He's running around, sending a special attack, but it hits a 0. The tank is just too tanky with the Elysian Spirit Shield. Down to 12 players now. And once again, Adam, that guy in the corner with the Addy full helm, DFS, and the Elysian, he's still alive. How has he made it through so long?
He is still alive. He is absolutely going for it. And in all honesty, right now, there really isn't much combat that's actually happening. This guy has an equal chance to actually win this. Right now as well, the Wind Striker as well is hitting this guy with the God Sword, and I'm wondering, is he... I was going to say if there were Alliance that he's using him as like...
Oh, he hit a 4 there. Oh, he does actually take down one of the tanks in the middle of the map. He moves on to the next one now as well. God Sword swings left, right, and center. I feel like I'm watching 7 Wookses try and tick-eat the fog like we did all those years ago. But this Pure is not going down without a fight. Down to the top 9 now. Less than 10 players standing. Oh, the Pure! He runs out of supplies.
Has fallen, but he is the champion. Is he the people's champion? I do not know. Right now, there is still some people wind striking, whereas most people are just stood there trying to out-heal the fog. Prayer restoration potions could keep them going for quite a while as well, but this is an interesting one.
The Wind Strike is actually doing quite a bit of damage despite using just full tank gear. It is hitting because every single tank here does not really have any mage levels. So that guy, he's now going on for the Addy full helm. He's taking him down. He doesn't want to be beaten by someone in an Addy full and a starter weapon, as well as the full Deadman starter gear. Honestly, it's crazy. This guy's been it so long. He finally falls the top left corner. We're down to 6 players remaining. Only 1 player out of the tanks is actually engaging in combat and hoping that he gets that airstrike mage proc, a 1 in 3 chance, whilst also having to flick his prayers at the same time. This is insane gaming from him.
I'm actually quite curious right now if any of these have hit points high enough where the redemption from a prayer renewal potion that I think gives you 1 prayer point every 8 ticks, 10 ticks, something like that. Can their hit points be high enough to indefinitely survive 6 damage fog hits?
Oh, he does take him out. He takes out the knife guy at the top right, stuck in Val. We got Lua, we got Grade 3, and at the bottom left we have Desailly. There are 4 players remaining, Adam.
4 players remaining. It looks like the guy in the middle may have got a proc here, but again, it just looks like all they're doing is healing. This was the strategy from the start. Once all the people with the barrages have actually fallen, the tanks stand until the end. We have 4 players remaining. We have Elwu, Grade 3, Desailly stuck in Val, Mod Goblin in the middle. I'm rooting for Mod Goblin, if I'm honest. We can also see some sigils on Stuck in Val. Sigil of Menacing Mage, Sigil of Meticulous Mage, Sigil of Pious Protection. And on the right, Grade 3 has Fortification, Porcupine, and Pious Protection. If you want to speak about any of those sigils?
Yeah, so the Sigil of the Menacing Mage, of course, that's the one that has a chance to proc and heal you damage based on the damage that it deals. The Sigil of the Meticulous Mage as well, just giving you 40 mage bonus. That's what's allowing him to just be in full tank gear, but also for his mage spells to continuously cast. Now, both players at every single tank here, most players in this finale, Sigil of Pious Protection, that's the one you talked about earlier, Adam, that does reduce damage taken if you get the prayer right. Now, looking at their inventory, how many purple sweets is that, Adam? How many clue scrolls have these guys done?
10,000. Again, it's not Iron Man. You can buy the purple sweets here to prepare your account. But one thing I'm noticing as well is the prayer renewal potions on Grade 3, but the hit points levels. These guys, it looks like their builds are either a 99 defense, and then their hit points and prayer levels are so high, they're using prayer renewal potions, which is giving them enough hit points for the renewal potion to tick back up in order to survive. Elwu has just fallen as I say that, though. We do not have the sight of anything. We only have Grade 3 and Stuck in Val on us right now, but it looks like 1 falls. But if the fog is only hitting 6s, can these people indefinitely survive with prayer renewal potions and purple sweets? If the fog goes to 8, how long will they survive? The Wind Strike went in on Stuck in Val. They are trying to grasp for the supplies. If they can get it, 3 people remain.
Yeah, and right now, looking at the inventories as well, that man just picked up 5 Elysian Spirit Shields stuck in Val, trying to make it out like a bandit. Grade 3 right now actually has more prayer-enhanced potions. So it looks like Stuck in Val has actually noticed that, and he's now going to start engaging in combat. He knows if he does keep going on like this, he doesn't have as many doses as his opponent, so he has to try and take him out. Oh, the DFS KO!
God, the DFS! That was beautiful!
Oh my!
Desailly has an Elysian. Grade 3 has a DFS. It has a cooldown before he can use it again.
Man.
Can he use this to win? Will Grade 3 win with the DFS
I
tank?
did not expect that, Adam.
That was
unreal.
incredible.
We were just saying how cowardly they were sitting in the corners. I was rooting for the Pure, but little did we know he had a gun up his sleeve. The DFS special attack. That was insane. Now, how long is it going to take for him to get up a special attack back, though, is the question.
I think it's about 2 minutes or something. It's been a very, very long time since I've used the DFS spec. It does have a max hit of 25. I don't know if it has a guaranteed hit of 25.
I don't
but if
think
it actually
does.
potentially does, DeSailly has a DFS as well. Is it charged or did he loot it? I can't tell from here. We may find out in a moment. Did he know the tech? Did he spy it? Right now, these people, it's like a Western showdown. They're facing each other.
Yeah,
They're
who's
getting
gonna fire
ready.
first?
One of them is going to turn and face the opponent in the eye and launch the DFS. Will it claim their life? Does Grade 3 get the back-to-back? Or will DeSailly take it from him? This is Justicia versus Barrows.
This is an unreal ending to the bracket one. I did not expect this whatsoever. Like I said earlier, it's like two Wookses going head-to-head, having to be tick perfect with their prayer flicks until one person makes a mistake. Or, as we just mentioned before, one person gets back that notorious Dragonfire Shield special attack and sends the power of Elvar into their opponent. We see some bolts flying from the player on the right. We see a porcupine effect, which will be recoil damage back on his foe, Adam.
Yes, but I think they both have running Porcupine right now, but they both procced it at the same time, so there's not too much reason to actually attack each other while it's active, but I think it does have a very, very short cooldown. Now, if the DFS recharge is coming, it's going to be coming any moment now. Who is going to take this? There's tons of sweets. They even have Bruise right now. It is the Sigil.
Look at his special attack, Adam.
100% special attack. I don't know if he has any spec weapons, so I don't think the DFS goes on a special attack. You have to right-click it and you have to fire it. But I want to see this right now. We are waiting patiently. Will it happen? Will it occur? The fog does not seem to go higher than 6 damage, though. So therefore, this is a matter of time until one can either KO the other or one of them has prepared slightly worse than the other and will eventually fall due to prayer renewal potions running out. The
There
DFS goes in!
the
It's
stack!
only a
No!
small number,
No!
and it
No
falls!
way!
We have a winner!
It backfired!
DeSailly is the bracket 1 Deadman Annihilation winner. Congratulations, and he's still eating. Who is this guy?
Oh
He
my
puts the
God.
Fury on. He's next to the bones.
That was
Congratulations.
unreal. The DFS there going in for the kill, but it actually backfired. He misclicked on his prayer enhanced clicks as well, trying to get the redemption back up again, and it took him down. He's celebrating, dancing, doing some twirls as well. Congratulations. What a bracket 1 finale.
That was fantastic. It started off this to the technique, the strategy of being a tank is basically the patience to get to that situation, and then it's even more precise gameplay. The fog is your enemy, not the barrages at that point. But it has proven right now the tank build in the low brackets is just superior.
That's
right now. I think
crazy.
it's 3 wins in a row for a tank. DeSailly, congratulations. There we have it. Combat bracket 1 is complete, and our first champion of Deadman Annihilation is crowned. Congratulations to DeSailly.
Yeah, I bet players are really confused when they were teleported to the Colosseum, but it seems like a fitting place for the final players to duel it out. Lucky for them, Sol was on vacation. Now, as well as bragging rights, our winner has also won the Youtooz Lumbridge Castle brick set, as well as the MADRINAS and OSRS Mango and Pineapple Charged Refresher. Now, if you fancy ordering any of these goodies for yourself, you find the links in the YouTube description and pinned comments on Twitch.
So, Ian, did that combo bracket go down like you thought?
I honestly, we were talking about it beforehand, like how the tanks are most likely going to make it as far as possible. But no, I honestly, I saw the Godsword guy and the Addy Full Helm guy. How did he make it that far? That's the question, really, we should be talking about. The DFS out of nowhere, that's not some tech that I expected, but very wisely done until, obviously, the slight misclick kind of backfired. But yeah, I've seen like 20 tanks in the final. I think a lot of people expected it like that, but obviously for those tanks to get that far as well, they most likely had their clans, their teammates on their shoulders, like helping them push them forwards to be able to get that far in the first place, take out the opposition. And yeah, that was spectacular, Adam. That was so sick, especially the 1v1 waiting for who's going to make the first move, who's going to draw as fast as they can.
No, I mean, the Dragonfire Shield's been in the game forever, and like the DFS spec to kill someone, I feel like that's not happened since like 2006.
Legit.
That is 20 years or something since someone has actually used a DFS spec that had a reason. Like, if we talk quickly about the DFS spec, for those that don't know, the DFS, 50 charges you can get. If you have an uncharged DFS, if a dragon breathes fire on you, you'll get 1 charge. Alternatively, if you're a main, you can buy, I think it's like a dragon breath potion off the Grand Exchange. Instantly get to 50 charges. But I do believe if you are wielding it, you right-click it, you operate it, and it will do that animation with a max damage, I believe, of 25, maybe higher with some sigils as well. I have not seen one of those in a long time. I actually misclicked on my DFS at some point during it. I had 49 charges the whole tournament. But I have not seen someone die to one in a long time. I'm very happy that happened.
I didn't expect that. Obviously, we knew going into it, maybe the consistency with the knives to whittle down the opponent, doing the constant ones damage, but it just wasn't enough. That DFS, really thinking outside the box, not something you've seen in a very long time, let alone in a competitive finale tournament, to be able to just take someone out. It really was like, this could go on for ages. I was fully expecting just to watch that for 30 minutes of non-stop redemption flicking. So I am glad the DFS strat came in there. But yeah, that was so exciting.
I was the same. When I saw when I realized the prayer renewal potions, which again, I think they recharge 1 prayer point every either 8 or 10 game ticks. The fog was hitting 6s every 3 game ticks, but redemption will heal you more health based on either your hit points level. I think your prayer level maybe as well. Those players, if I had to guess their build, 99 defense, 87 hit points, 77 prayer, something like that. Combine it all together, the redemption and the prayer renewals alone were enough to actually survive the fog indefinitely. However, you do have a finite amount of those in your inventory.
It was also a gamble, of course, like hoping that you made it that far. I mean, if there was a 1 or 2 extra pures there that were able to blood barrage, I mean, you were getting hit 6s and 8s, you're on like 10 hit points. Any pure that had a god sword or a ballista or even a chinchompa can just hit that HP in 1 hit. But when it's just tanks on tanks and they have just defense, just hit points, just prayer, they have no offensive capabilities. Their max hit is, even with airstrike, a couple of digits, maybe. So, I mean, it was a smart strategy, and clearly it paid off in the end.
I was going to say, though, if the fog was only hitting 6s and we had 2 tanks at the end, and we could see their inventories at the end, we could see their sigils. If we opened their inventories and they had like 15 4-dose prayer renewal potions, I'd be there like, oh my god, this is going to take a while. What are we going to do? Other than that, it looks like we're going to be jumping into bracket 2 shortly. This is 61 combat to 80 combat. I don't know about you. Will we see tank builds in this bracket, or is it just not gonna? Will they just die?
I think we will, and based on actually all the participants as well watching the last bracket, I would imagine that some players might be even like trying to get themselves a DFS now going into this finale. Now, obviously, bracket 2 is 80 combat, so as a result, that is going to mean that players. Just overall damage output is going to be much, much higher. In this bracket, you've got maxed pures of 99 range, mage, strength, hit points. The tanks in this bracket, they're going to be able to tank, but nowhere near as well. There'll be some 20 defense builds using the new ancient armors that came out. These armors have like 9% damage increase for Zoriel's, for example, the mage gear, and the Morrigan's has range strength as well. So that's going to also pack a punch of those chinchompos, those, once again, the cute little critters that are going to implode on their opponents. We have both teams now going to this final area. Once again, one of the teams going to the northeast, and this looks to be the yellow team, and they'll meet in the center for one epic finale once more.
Here we go. It looks like the yellow team again. This is a different bracket. It could be similar players. There's nothing wrong with playing 2 different accounts, or even 4 different accounts, over all 4 of the actual brackets right now. You can play, and you could have won. You could have been Desailly. You could have won bracket 1. And now Desailly could be on bracket 2 and could potentially win again. Unfortunately, the Heraldic Runehelm guy will not be winning today. He has fallen down. But you can see a lot of mages again. It's going to be very similar strategies. I think maybe we're going to get the exact same preparation phase from this fight, where if you get caught in the middle trying to grab some supplies, you're just going to fall down. Will people sit at the back? As of right now, I don't see anyone that looks like they've glass cannoned into a tank. I did see a tank ranger. Oh, we see one, Bod, right at the screen.
Right side.
Armadillo, Zoriel's. He has like an ancient wyvern shield. It looks like he may have some mage. We do not know. We'll find out later on. But will the tank build be good in this bracket? 61 to 80 combat.
Yeah, so rather than just having a tank with 99 defense, at this bracket, around 80 combat, you can have 70 to 80 defense with around 70 to 80 magic too. Now, of course, the Overload Potion gives you a huge boost to your magic, your range, your melee stats. Now, magic in particular, at 92 mage, you can cast Blood Barrage, you can cast Ice Barrage at 94. So if they've built their account purposely for that, around 85 magic or so, with lower HP, these tanks, they can have so much defense bonus, so much offensive capability, and actually do damage at the end. So it won't be a case of one person hoping they have a DFS special attack in the bag. flag, but actually they'll be able to tribe with each other down to the end. Now, in that first bracket, we saw so many different clans taking part. We couldn't really speak specifically about any, but there was Dino's open friends chat, Odablock's open friends chat, SkillSpecs, I believe, as a friends chat as well. There's huge alliances of clans, big names that we'll talk about as we continue going on. One of the favorites in this bracket to win is a big Pure clan called RKO. They've been led by previous clans from the Pure scene for many, many years now. But most likely, once again, every single clan will have members in every single bracket just to try and take that win.
Yeah, this one, it does look like it is panning out very similar. The guy has full guffins in the center, but this looks like it's panning out very similar to the first one, where we just have this no-man land in the middle. But it looks like the yellow team and the blue team are basically, they decided to meet at the exact same point. So my guess is there's a lot of teams, and they're going to be doing the same thing in each bracket. But if they do, does that give information for another team to potentially work out a counter? It does look like a lot of sigils of Onslaughts are probably going to be running. Onslaught, I believe it. I don't know if it's a permanent sigil or...
Yes, it's a permanent unlock, so it's not one of the free attuned sigils you have to choose from. It increases your AoE damage from Chinchompers and Barrages from 9x9 to an 11x11 area. Now, on these builds, a lot of these Pures, the 20 defense accounts, they have 95 to 99 range and mage. So if people get caught out in this middle clump, they're going to go down so much quicker than even bracket 1, despite having higher hit points as well. The damage from Chinchompers, the damage from Barrage compared to Ice Burst is going to be so much stronger, Adam.
Yeah, this is going to be... I think we're going to see a different finale with this one. I'll be very, very surprised if tanks could actually be surviving until the end. With the damage going out, again, if you have an account build of 80, if you've prepared correctly, you can have very strong offensive stats. In a 60 bracket, 60 combat, it really just doesn't get that punch. That's why people build tanks, and that's why it's proven the tank build to once again be superior. In this bracket too, I want to say in the previous Deadman, a tank won bracket 2 as well. But the brackets are slightly different this time. That time, I want to say 70 combat was the max. This time, 80. Ancient Warrior Equipment. We have so much weapons, so much firepower, more powerful sigils, all the regeneration, all that stuff. That guy just got deleted. He's not respawning after that one, but other than that, this one's going to be good. I hope we see someone that's not a tank win this, but time will tell.
When we're talking about tanks in this bracket, now a tank in this bracket, you're not going to have anybody who just has tank capabilities. I've seen a few Boa Fedina sets, the Crystal Armor. I've seen some Carol's Warriors. We saw the guy in the full Armadillo as well. 70 defense is probably the Outlast build for this bracket. For just raw KO opportunity and power, it will be the 1 defense Pures, the guys in the Elder robes, the full red robes, and of course the 20 defense builds, once again, the guys that are sitting around in the new greyish armor setups. I saw a few of the Capeshes as well. Maybe we'll have a few little infiltrating units that will go in trying to take out enemy high-profile teammates, trying to take, a few little sniper squads running in with some VLSs and such, or the Javelin special attack that's quite notorious this Deadman mode.
I don't think we've ever seen this area before, but a lot of people are fighting around this church, which is actually just at the top end of the No Man's Land. That's actually the base in the center there, but I feel like if you stood up here, you're not really getting too involved, although it does look like Fog may already actually be hitting quite a lot of damage, because they took a lot there. Guy in the middle, unfortunately, falling. But again, I think this is just a barrage clump. It's Chinchompers. It's the communication of your caller in your voice platform. Whoever is leading your team to victory right now, you are listening to those calls, and it is just absolute chaos. This team, these players, they know what's coming though. They know about the Colosseum. They can be prepared. We do have a tank in the center of the screen. He just vanished. He did not die as far as I'm aware, but there was a guy with Torva. He did have a DFS as well.
Yeah, looking right now, the blue team seems to be kind of taking more of a backseat approach, and not many people at the back lines trying to get involved. Again, they want to be one of those top 100 going into the Colosseum, saving their supplies as best they can. But obviously, if you play too passively, then your whole team will end up losing, and then you don't have a chance to go for that free-for-all finale. Looks like right now, again, once again, as you said, just Chinchompers flying left and right, barrages. You see a few crossbows going off as well, maybe a few units that are trying to take down, once again, those high-profile players or the Javelin special attacks. I haven't seen many melee weapons. Maybe in the higher bracket we'll see a few more, but I have seen some Thunder Capeshes on the ground. Now, if you're almost out of supplies and you think, well, I'm going to go down anyway, maybe I can help my teammates out. I'll just run in with the Thunder Capesh, use the special attack. If it connects, then everything in a 3x3 area has the power of lightning just taking them out left, right, and center. But right now, it really is anyone's game.
It is hard to say. Right now, I would not be able to tell you if the calling from a team could be the difference in this. There are so many clumps. Like, if you were calling for your team, what do you even say? Like, clump northeast, clump southwest? Everybody's in a clump at this point. But it's like, how do you get the edge? Because obviously there will be an edge that people are going to get right now. And I feel like being on the front lines, if you get caught in these freezes, you are not going to do well. It looks like a tank falls right there as well. Another one has unfortunately failed. It looks like there was a 1 defense pure that went down there. A lot of PvP armor, though. A lot of the Zorials, a lot of Morrigans. This is something that was added for Deadman Annihilation, and as you can see, it's all over the ground. 20 defense, it's not in the main game. Boasts some of the best stats in the game offensively for armor at 20, if not the best. However, it is very glass cannon. It's very squishy. But we are in the low brackets. I think when we get to the high brackets, we might be seeing less of this and more of the more powerful stuff like Ancestral, Virtus, Missouri. And it's going to be great to see all that on the ground, because I'm telling you now, Ian, I would be vacuuming this up right now. Carol's top is calling my name.
You're licking your lips, looking at all this loot on the ground,
Ranger
buddy.
boots of mine.
Your looting bag cannot take this many items, mate. Well, looking north to south, once again, we're talking about strategy. Like, how can you get an edge over the opposition? The main way is just not being clumped up. Like, if you have your whole squad in one area, if the opponents do start barraging that again with Onslaught, the 11x11, your teammates are going to fall very quickly. You've got to get involved, but you've got to spread out as best you can. And then also, like we said, identifying those clumps of players. If one of the other teams does get, too many people in one area, they can just whittle them down so quickly. You can't be too far on the edge. It's kind of finding that balancing act of being involved, doing DPS, but also survivability of not getting caught out in bad placement.
I feel right now, again, it's just deja vu to the first fight. If you go in the middle, like I say, I'd be vacuuming this stuff up. I'd be dead instantly. Because I would be, you see that guy, his health bar just went from, like, full, these guys ran into the center.
If you
Blue
get caught
Cape
out.
Zoriel's right in front, full HP. Now he's 10 HP, and he's dead in 5 seconds. Oh, does he survive? Come on.
Phoenix
Can
necklace.
you do it, my friend?
The
Phoenix necklace keeps him
spam.
alive. He decides to make a club. He's actually still alive. He's gone down. That's what happens. You step in no man's land. We have movement. We have the fog coming in. The twos. The chaos begins now. Everyone starts panicking, especially people who maybe their first Deadman, maybe some of their first PvP experience, maybe their very first multi-PvP experience. They're going to be panicking now. They're going to be having a good time with it. But the chaos, when you see so many hit splats, imagine the audio in-game that you're hearing right now if you're playing with audio.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say the twos as well. It's kind of like almost like a chime of war. Like when you start getting hit those twos, you either start tapping into your reserves, into your brews that you want to outlast your opponents with, or you start fighting if you haven't been already. Because the Blood Barrage, of course, it has depending on how much damage you deal, you will restore some of that back, which can offset and mitigate the 2 fog damages. And if you don't want to touch your brews till later on, then getting involved is definitely the way to go. Again, the no man's land, though, nobody's stepping foot in there. Now that you've mentioned it, if one person gets out of place, they get trapped in that center, they will just go down so quickly.
I'll be honest, I've been watching people run in, and as soon as I see them get frozen, I see how long they live, and everyone has just been like exploding almost immediately. Some get in, some get out right now, but you see, like, whoa, did you see that guy in the center right now?
I just saw one guy
His health
run.
bar, which is like 1, then the full green immediately, and he fell down. No, he's in no man's land. He's unfortunately.
I'm seeing a few snipers going through the middle. That guy, the Morrigan's in the middle of the purple boots, purple coif, the ancient armors, and a javelin in hand, trying to maybe take out an opposing rival leader, or maybe one of the callers, the people that need to take down nice and fast. Looking through the sides, though, I mean, who's winning this one? Is it yellow or blue? I really can't tell.
I don't think we're going to know. I think the only thing that matters right now is who actually managed to stay, be the last man standing in the Fortis Coliseum, which is the final area. We saw it in Bracket 1. We're going to see it again in Bracket 2. We might be seeing it very, very shortly, actually, because the players, I believe, get teleported in when there's probably around 100 left or something. That being said, Bracket 1, we were there for a while. I think Bracket 2, it's going to be very quick. It's going to be over with very, very fast.
I have seen a tank or two, some Justicia guys trying to pick up some brews from the middle where other people have fallen. Now, the reason why people get caught in the middle, they are using their spells. They're using Ice Barrage or Chinchompering and Blood Barraging. But the second one of the players that they're trying to hit gets unfrozen, steps back a few tiles, they then get dragged into the middle. So they have to be very quick on the sticks with sending a barrage, clicking the floor, clicking behind them, sending another barrage or Chinchomper, and then, retreating as well. A constant back and forth, managing of listening to what's going on, keeping an eye out for where they can hit the clumps as well.
Yeah, this right now, it does look like the team is whittled down. If you look at the bottom right corner of the screen, there are people there, there's a tank there, and they're just staying out of the competition.
One just got hit at 30, the bottom right of the screen just fell. I think he was just outside of the fog. If you play a little bit too conservatively, then that could be you just going out in an absolute split second.
If you get frozen near the center and your freeze disappears, you're probably clicking the minimap to move somewhere. If you step outside of this little square where you can see the orbs flashing, you will be hit 30s by the fog, potentially even an insta-kill at some point. The fog is now doubled in damage. We're getting
it's deadly
back
now.
to the 4s. People are falling all over the place. The yellow team, Dragon Warhammer, he got the D-Warhammer off, but unfortunately, he took him out. He took him out, I think, with the D-Warhammer. I don't know if that was that, but someone died. It could have been a 0, but people are jumping all over.
I think the yellow team are winning this multi-fight, though. Blue team being pushed into that top right corner right now, and they seem to have a lot less members. Look at the yellow team, the amount of forces. They are playing, once again, they're quite conservatively. Now, there's a big push, a big rush. The callers leading them into victory, saying, come on, we're winning this fight. Let's finish them off. And if they can wrap around them, spread themselves out nicely, the blue team will just be, caught in this little corner, and they have nowhere to go, Adam.
I can say right now, No Man's Land seems to have been taken by the yellow team. The yellow team most definitely are winning this war. It is clear. They're charging in. They're crossing into No Man's Land. They're just taking out the final things. The blue team, they cannot step outside of the square. They are trapped in the corner. The fog is hitting 6s. The yellow team know that they're winning the barrages right now. Everywhere is a clump, and there's nowhere for the blue team to go, because if they step out, the fog will take them out.
Blue team needs to do something about this, though. If they just stay in this corner right now they're getting hit 6s and 10s, they're getting blood barrage. They need to move. If they just stay here hoping they can survive long enough, it's not going to be enough. And soon, that means the yellow team will all be in a free-for-all as well. The alliance that they've formed will be, just resolved entirely, and then clans will spread out. And it'd be really interesting to see, where they move, how they rotate. What is that? Is that a guy in full armor still just going down?
He misclicked and went out and got 30 immediately and just died.
Oh, no. Oh, that guy's playing it very well with that blue team member in the little corner. So players that try to click on him actually have to go into the fog to be able to get a hit off. But looks like it might be all over for the blue team. It looks like
the yellow team. We didn't know what was going on in the first bracket. It was too hard to say. It might have been a 50-50 down the board.
I think so.
But right now, the yellow team, we do not know who they consist of. It could be the RKO clan. We may find out at the end. The yellow team have absolutely rolled over the blue team. Commiserations to the blue team. But remember, your team, I don't think, needs to be fully wiped to actually enter the final area. You could have one in. We're in the final area.
Looks like.
And we do have some blue members that will have managed to get in here. There is a guy wearing nothing to the right of the screen.
And the middle
He's
and the left
running
as
to
well.
the center.
How have they survived for so long?
There's people. Oh, they just died immediately.
Yeah, okay, looking around here now. So clans and small team forces will be trying to relocate their members to one of the 4 corners of this map currently. And it really is coming down to who can, jump on the piles the fastest, who can send those specials and try and whittle down the opponent as fast as possible. We do see a few tanks, actually, the top right corner. I think I see a tank with the air staff right there. Will it be enough? Then the Din's Bulwark at the bottom left as well, with all of that huge range defensive capabilities.
I'm going to be honest. We spoke a lot about the tanks because it was the superior build in the previous bracket too.
I don't think they're making it.
I think there's too much damage. There are too many, the offensives of the PKers, the low defense. It's too much where the tanks, they can't really do anything. It's not about them surviving the fog. They're not even going to get to the fog, taking the rest out. But we could be wrong. We do not know. There is actually quite a few tanks now that the PKers, the people in the rest, are actually falling right now. I see a lot of people that look like they're 1 defense. There isn't much Morrigans. There isn't much Zorials. There's a lot of people in the Elder Chaos Druid robes. Right now, this will be very curious. I do think the damage is a lot bigger in this bracket, and this finale will be much faster. But if we are left with tanks, there is a tank to the top right. There is 2 tanks to the top right. It could be a tank finale again. I don't want it to be, but we're going to see what happens. I
mean, right now, all I'm seeing from the Pures is blood barrage spam. I'm not seeing many crossbows, many concrete attempts at taking people out. I saw a couple of dog swords coming in earlier with a max hit of around an 85 on this bracket if they are fully potted with the right gear. But yeah, a 32 onto that Pure in the middle. They're just kind of trying to rotate out as best they can, take as many members out as possible. But I don't know, man. It's really hard to tell. Will the tanks make it?
A tank just fell to the right there. We'll see, but it does look like there's a few, but it's the barrages. I saw you again. You mentioned the dog sword.
The dog sword in the middle, taking down that Pure.
The dog sword in this game is once again an addition where all 5 god swords in this game, Armadil, Bandos, Saradomin, Zamorak, and the ancient god sword are all combined into one weapon.
Yep.
It is absolutely ridiculously strong, and a lot of people got demolished by it during the 3 weeks of Deadman.
Yeah.
Seeing them in the finale, there's your melee weapons. You can see them on the ground.
Yeah, it gives you, obviously, a really high DPS output, a max hit of an 85, but it also heals you, both with the Ancient Godsword Special, the Saradomin Godsword Special as well, and it freezes your opponent in place. I saw a 50 hit there from a bolt at the top corner of the screen. Looking at the tanks, 2 tanks at the left-hand side, just trying to stay out of combat as best as possible. Looks to be a few teams, maybe a couple of, like, friends trying to be together. We see a tank on the right-hand side, but he's also got a Dragon Hunter crossbow, so he is doing a lot of DPS in the full armor deal, and with the DFS, Adam. Will we see a DFS special again?
All I do is I'm seeing this guy in the center wearing absolutely nothing but a dog sword right now. He's got some boots on. What's he doing? Did he take his armor off to maybe blend in? Are the people, like, focusing the thing? Hashtag dinos are coming in.
Oh, the Dino Squad.
Do we have the Dino Nuggets open
way.
French chat winning this? I think they've done it. They must all be in the same Discord. Right now, the question is Dino in this pack? Or did he fall early? His team will be doing him proud. But it looks like we have a potential. I do not know yet, of course, if they're just blending in. We do not know right now. We do not have a winner crowned on bracket 2, but it will be coming very, very shortly.
Yeah,
I think that guy, that yellow one to the southeast of the corner, he took his armor off to kind of blend in, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe. I've also just had word, I believe the Dino clan chat for bracket 3 is now full suddenly. I'm wondering why that is. The open friends chat now has 500 members, but it looks like these guys are probably with Dino. Dino, big live streamer on the old school scene. He has a clan in every single bracket, and that's where a lot of the smaller teams have congregated, as well as, of course, his Discord and stream community. I think it's safe to say that the Dino Nuggies have won the bracket 2.
I'm going to be honest, we do not know yet. We're going to have to wait until a victor is crowned, and if they type the DN in there, we don't know. They might have been infiltrated right now. For all we know, this is a different person. We have Calculator V4, Correct Prey, Iron Fablet, Don't Die. And Ian pressed the button, so now I can't see.
Don't Die, and Froglog Pog, and Iron Fablet, and Calculator, and Mod Dizong. Wait, what? And Nervous Dweeb.
I am an unbiased commentator, but I'm rooting for Frog, Log, Pog. We have to do it. I always love those names. I don't even know why. 5 players remaining, 4 players remaining. Sorry, because someone did just fall. Correct Prey is gone. I don't know if the Frog is still standing.
Now, Iron Fablet actually is someone that I've seen at this entire time. He's
gone.
been PKing in Edgeville Bank every single day. He is a big pure on the scene. It's really sick to see him, because I've seen him every day for 3 weeks now, actually in-game, just enjoying himself. To see him in the final, in the last 3, is fantastic. Also, one of the Pures with 2 tanks. Can he whittle them down faster than they can heal themselves up again, though?
It is true. It looks like in this finale right now, 2 tanks standing, 1 Pure, let's just say. In this situation, he's taking some damage, but the Pure can deal damage. The tanks, they can't do much. There is a dog sword!
That could have happened.
Literally nothing, bro. But I guess at the end of the day, the dog sword, I think, on the tank is being used mainly because you know he's 60 attack.
Yep.
If you hit with consistency of 1, you get a 15 heal from the dog sword, from the ancient god sword, plus maybe the Saradomin god sword effect will actually round up.
The guy underneath the tank is now saying, "Well, team, he's got a lot more damage. Take him down for me, please, Iron." But Iron might be out. No way.
The dog sword's going in. Does he do anything? It's a swipe of a 1. We have 88878 versus Calculator V4. The armor's back on. He did take it off. He has no helmet. Put your helmet on, mate. Unless he ran out of SERP scales or something like that.
Should we see how many inventory space these guys have? Looks like 888 has a lot of the prayer renewals.
Calculator V4 right now. He still has a starter pack that I think might give you some tuner or something.
Oh, that's quite smart to bring into the finals. I wonder if it works that way, though. But I mean, 887 does go down. That means Calculator V4 is the winner of Bracket 2. Was it a Dino Nuggie? That's the question, though.
We're waiting. Calculator V4 has taken Bracket 2 of Deadman Annihilation. Do we know who he is? Will he put it in? If he was a Dino Nugget, I think he would have already said right now. He would be representing who he's with. Is he a spy? Is he an infiltrator? The only thing we do know is he is the Bracket 2 winner of Deadman Annihilation. Hashtag Dino.
He is a Dino Nugget.
In the chat. Dino, open French chat, has managed to take it. Unfortunately, RKO, you mentioned, have not managed to do it. I don't know how many members Dino has, but I do know he probably has 500 members going into Bracket 3, which will happen shortly. Our second champion is declared. A huge congratulations to Calculator V4.
And the Dino Nuggies too. Just like the winner of our levels 45 to 60 combat bracket, our champion can also call themselves the winner of the Youtooz Lumbridge Castle brick set, as well as the MADRINAS X OSRS Mango and Pineapple Charge Refresher. And if you're interested, links to these products are in the YouTube description. They're also in the Twitch pinned comments.
Let's talk about that then. What did you think? We obviously spoke a lot of time about tanks. Tanks won again.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, maybe it's because I'm pure spam. I was rooting for the pures, the DPS guys to take the win. The dog sword tank, though, did catch me by surprise. It was awesome to see that. Obviously, Dino and I, really good friends, so I am happy for him that the Dino Nuggies did make it out and they managed to win. But yeah, overall, that was a spectacular finale and didn't really drag on as long. Although I will say, still, the DFS, that's taken my heart now. From the bracket one.
I think it would be pretty tough for someone to actually beat that right now. I'm not sure what's happening right here, but someone looks like they're dying. I was going to say, the person who won bracket one, Desailly, didn't actually sport any clan. What, potentially a solo player. Someone just playing by himself, because we do know that obviously Dino had the open friends chat, and it looks like a Dino member managed to get that. They put out the hashtag, you know, they're representing. First player just won in silence, just took his victory. You know?
No, absolutely. But yeah, that finale was spectacular. Now, we talked about KO potential, the pures with the mage, the range switch trying to dwindle down the opposition. I wonder how many players that the Dino Nuggie guy had that were the pures. We saw a lot of hashtag DN spam. So maybe that tank won as a result of the pures and of his teammates, you know, supporting him in that finale and taking out the other tanks so that he could get that win.
I think so as well. When it get in the end, I think as soon as the hashtag Dinos came out, I think everybody in the arena at that point now, in hindsight, now that we know the winner, they know the representation, you know, no infiltrators. I think they were all in the same team. They secured the win already. At that point, it didn't really matter who won, but obviously, you're in free for all right now. All your friends, all your allies, gone. It is who stands, and we did have Calculator V4 managed to take that one down on behalf of Dino. I'm going to be honest, Calculator, where was Dino? You know, you better. Good job.
We saw in bracket one with Elijah Spirit Shield. Not sure what build he was in bracket two. Maybe he wasn't tanking. Maybe he was on the front lines and giving the opposition everything he had. But yeah, that was great to see. And obviously, soft spot my place for all the pures as well. Now, next up is going to be bracket 3. Soon we'll begin that one as well. And I'm so excited for bracket 3. As we progress through these combat brackets, I believe, from what I've been told by the clan leaders and different people playing, the competition is getting fiercer and fiercer. Bracket 4, of course, the bracket that you were mostly in throughout, that one was, you know, really, really tough.
I think bracket 3 is going to be fantastic. I think tank ranges are going to exist now. You're no longer the defenseless tanks. They're gone. We're going to see a lot of people. We're going to see a lot of good gear. But not to obviously speak about bracket 4 too much, I think bracket 4 is going to be it. We're saving the best till last.
We are,
Bracket 4, the gear difference we're about to see from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 is going to be crazy. Now, I'm going to ask now, do you reckon the yellow team is going to be in the northeast? Do you reckon the blue team is going to be in the same place? Or are we going to have the no man land death zone again?
I think every single clan, straight away, they want to move to one of those chokehold areas. They don't want to be the first one in the center because they can get wrapped around and they have to like kind of create this big divide where they can slowly push. And again, it's all about tactics, about spreading yourselves up north and south, not clumping your teammates too severely. And if you do spot a clump or you see another team that's kind of out of position, then you quickly spread out and maneuver yourself around to attack that spot as well. Bracket 3 is going to be really interesting. Like you said before, we will be seeing the tank builds, but they have so much more offensive capabilities. At 95 combat, you can have 70 defense, 95 range mage, 85 to 90 strength. At that point, you can hit 85 dog swords in this bracket. If you see West Ham, you can see his DDS, that can hit 55. So we might see a few guys going around taking people's heads off left, right, and center. But yeah, the tanks in this bracket, they'll have full Armadil, they'll have Armadil Zaurite crossbows, the full Virtus gear, we'll see Confliction gauntlets. Just the overall DPS is going to be so much stronger, and I think we'll have an even quicker finale in the Colosseum area.
I think so. The damage is going to be much higher, but we did actually play a game earlier, which was Spot the Elijah. Now, this is a game for everybody now watching the stream from any point of view. Spot the Darok bomb. We're now in a point, maybe not bracket 3, but I want to see one guy just Darok axe someone's head off. Like just some guy in full Virtus, the absolute
Sea Engineer, please give it to us.
In the game.
We beg.
Popped. Just instantly dead, you know. I think we might see some dog sword hits though as well. We've got some people that just get one bang by a dog sword.
Yeah, I was talking earlier when we saw a few like javelin special attacks going in, maybe to try and take out high-profile players in opposition. Maybe the callers, if you can take down those prolific callers, then you know no one knows what's going on. We're going to see that right now, though, Adam. I think it's time to jump into bracket 3 finale. Should we get this underway?
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Bracket 3. It does look like the yellow team immediately in their northeast spot. And if you could see the gear difference, there is no more Elder Chaos Druid.
No.
There is a lot of PvP armor, though. I do think I was wrong with that. But I'm seeing tons of Armadil almost everywhere right now. If I had to ask you, Ian, you're playing bracket 3 right now, 95 combat.
Yep.
What build would you go for? What items would you ideally get?
So I played bracket 3 for the past couple of weeks actually myself, and in terms of for fun and for just mass DPS hitting big numbers, we enjoyed the Zerka builds, and a lot of those guys will have those 20 defense armors. The Zoriel's robes, of course, have a 9% damage increase to magic, which, as we've seen in the previous brackets too, barrage is one of the biggest DPS factors. It also heals you too with the blood barrage as well. But you know, we're also going to see a lot of tanks. The best build for this, I would say, to go far is going to be the 70 defense. Look at the bottom right of the screen right there, Adam. There is a guy in a DFS, a guy in full Armadil, the Missouri as well coming in, huge magic defense. Even the Avernic treads there as well. Maybe there are a few people with 75, 80 defense that are just going to have that bit more tankiness, but they still pack a punch. Once again, you can have those builds, that defensive capability, but you can also have the really high defenses and offenses of like Ice Barrage or be able to hit 50 pluses with javelins or 80 pluses with dog swords too.
Well, one thing I don't think we spoke about too much, because I don't think it was that good in the lower brackets, is the Ruinous Powers. We spoke about them briefly, but for anybody here that has played RuneScape in the past, and you're wondering why are some people's Protect from Magic blue and purple, those are the Ruinous Powers. It is a prayer book that was pitched a while ago that did not actually pass a poll, but was introduced into previous leagues and in Deadman Annihilation, which you could buy in the game for 5,000 Deadman points. It is kind of a glass cannon prayer book. You get much more offensive stats, but you don't get much defensive. So we were talking before, would you run Ruinous Powers or would you run regular prayers?
So overall, the Ruinous Powers is the prayer book to get if you want one of those Zerk builds I was talking about, the lower defense builds where you've just been having fun taking people's heads off during the tournament the past 3 weeks. Now, if you have 70 defense, you can get access to Rigor and Augury. Actually, every account here can actually get it, but they're very, very expensive prayers. Augury in particular, the Arcane Prayer Scroll from Chambers, that one gives you 25% magic defense. Now, as we've been seeing, Barrage is a very big proponent. Also, just Piety and the Dexterous Prayer Scroll as well, they give you 25% in defenses for range 2. So overall, if you're not on a budget, if you can afford it, then I would say that the normal prayers are actually better for this kind of Outlast fight. But that's not to say that the extra increase in accuracy and damage of having the Ruinous Prayers isn't a bad choice either. It's meant so that the last 3 weeks, even if you're not super rich or you've not had some of those really great drops at the breaches, you can still be able to get the Ruinous Prayers unlocked and then be able to use that full DPS capability in RuneScape.
I'm going to say it, Ian. No Man's Land doesn't seem to exist in the same place.
No.
The yellow team has
pushed in a lot faster,
it. The blue team, obviously, there is a new No Man's Land. There's always going to be a gap between the teams. No one's standing in the middle because you're just going to get completely popped. But the yellow team here, it looks like they've took the initiative and actually taken into the final area. As you can see, the glowing orbs on the ground represents the squares of the final area. The blue team right now on the left of the screen, they're not in the final area.
No,
the yellow team are in the final area.
Yeah.
If they get hit by fog, the yellow team's going to know about it immediately. If they are barraging, everybody is running in the same direction with one purpose to get in. They're all going to land on the same squares, and we could see a complete annihilation of Ice Barrages and Chin Chompers potentially if the blue team doesn't figure out a potential solution to the fog when they need to get in the final area.
Yeah, no, that was really well seen there. Actually, blue team needs to start pushing in as fast as possible because if the fog starts coming in, they're just going to be out of position. And right now, yellow team having that prowess to try and actually push them into that corner. That is some great strategic gameplay right there. And the yellow team have a massive advantage because the blue team are going to try and push themselves forwards. If they get caught in the clumps and they're not actually in the right positioning, whereas yellow team has an even more even spread. The second some people start getting out of position, then the blue team's just going to fall left, right, and then just not really taking the initiative to start moving. Maybe now they're starting to as best they can, but yellow team have such a strong line of defense that anyone moving out of position is just going to be annihilated instantly in that no man's land area you keep talking about.
We were talking about how the casters, well, not the casters, but the callers in each of the teams needs to call the information. But right now, all they're going to be saying is barrage them. Don't let anyone cross the line. No. If anyone crosses the line, just target that individual. And eventually, it's an inevitable certainty that there's going to be fog and they're going to have to get in. If we see just in the top center of the screen right now, there is a clump there of blue team trying to get in. And you can see that the yellow team is preventing it and they are just falling. Look at all the loot right now. If you look to the left, there is loot all over the ground on the left side of the no man's land we currently have. And on the right side, it doesn't look like yellow have had like any casualties. There's like a couple of loot piles. So right now, if you had to ask, in the previous ones, the yellow team steamrolled over the blue team, in my opinion. In the first one, bracket 1, we just didn't know what was going on. In bracket 3, I think yellow already potentially have a commanding lead. and also
absolutely.
a best strategy.
I think being quite out of position here, the blue team, they're trying to get through that little, where that little statue is, the top left of the screen. And they're being clumped right there. There's only like a 1x1 or 2x2 area. Maybe 3x3 at max they can get through. But the second they try to get through that, the team on the right will just freeze and just call all their members, keep hitting that corner, keep hitting that corner. If they try to get through, they won't be able to. And soon the fog is going to start hitting more and more damage. You see it already hitting 1s and 2s on the outskirts. And you know, if the yellow team is able to just keep their ground, hold the line, so to speak, then blue team is going to just be evaporated the second it starts to hit bigger numbers.
It's going back to that choke point you mentioned, the entrance. It looks like it is 2 squares wide. And as mentioned, Ice Barrage and Chinchomba's on the correct one is going to hit 3x3, up to 11 people if everyone's running Onslaught, which I think everybody will be running Onslaught. Blue team probably don't really truly know how dangerous that choke point is. The yellow team, however, they are also in the choke point on the other side. They are outside the fog. The no man's land does look like it's gone there, and we have some carnage going on from here. We see a lot of people. It looks like the blue team have actually pushed in. They are in the final area. The fog, I don't even know if it's already hitting, but maybe it's hitting outside the finale area right now, but not in the interior. That's why there are so many people clumped right now. How do you even deal with this? You cast an Ice Barrage in any direction, you're doing everything for the team, you know? Just cast one barrage, you're hitting 11 people most likely. That is all you need to do. That is all you need to do to keep your captain happy, your caller happy. You're going to go through. I
mean, that is a big part of these multi-fights, is being able to do DPS whilst also managing your brew and restore. Obviously, drinking a brew will give you the 16 HP, assuming you're at 94 hit points or higher, but it will also reduce your stats. So again, managing the brew to restore ratio, whilst also clicking the spell, clicking the opponent, making sure you're not in a clump with the rest of your team, hitting the right corners based on what the caller is telling you to do as well. And I mean, the blue team right there was pushed out of the fog, and it's a good thing they moved when they did. Right now, maybe they're going to clutch back a few more kills as well. But I mean, looking at the map right now, it looks like the yellow team is forcefully pushing them back again, and there's far more people on the left-hand side falling than the right, Adam.
I also agree. I think the blue team have managed to get themselves in the finale area, but at what cost? We do not know how many members have fallen. Again, like, we do have some render difficulties. We cannot truly see how many people are actually on the screen right now. They will flash in, they will flash out. You can see the numbers, but right now, it just looks like there's more people on the yellow side. I think we get access to certain squares, but we get every player on those squares. Yellow, prayers are everywhere. Blue, they're not out of the competition yet. Obviously, it might sound like we're already leaning towards the yellow side. We're just going on what we can actually see right now. I don't know what the audience is. The blue team, they are far from out right now. I just think the yellow had a better start.
They did.
Can they maintain that start? Now that blue has solved the issue, they're in the finale area now. Can yellow actually do it, or can blue just bring an easy comeback right now?
I mean,
better comms, better calls, better strategy. There's a Kapesh going off right now at the top as well, if you see the lightning bolts.
Yeah, I see that. So if you're about to fall anyway, why not send the Kapesh into the opponents? That AoE melee damage with a magic special attack, that could actually do quite a bit, especially if you get it on the right amount of players in one hit. In this bracket, obviously 2,000 people were participating in this finale. That's why it's so difficult to tell who's actually winning from each side. But there are two major clans that are going at it this time round, and I can't wait to see the names in the final to see which ones have actually made it through. One of the clans will be EOP, the Eruption of Pures, and the other clan being Infliction. Maybe you've seen the yellow Luli and Lori names, or red Luli if you've been in bracket 3 yourself. So we're looking forward to seeing that as well as of course, Lit and Lethal Intentions, the Dino FC that we saw win bracket 2, the Oda FC as well. West Ham, one of our streamers, he gave out over 300 sets to these people. So maybe he's got a clan in here as well. He bought an army, Adam, 300 Zuriel sets and Zuriel staffs, many of which we see in the middle right now.
I would say right now, yeah, West Ham, honestly, was tearing up Bracket 3. One of the main reasons I would be happy to be in Bracket 4. Bracket 4, speaking about my own gameplay, surely you have a lot of very, very good player killers. But you also have the best stats in the game to have the highest chances of surviving. Bracket 3, you got West Ham on you. Like, that is not something you want to deal with. And I've got a bit of history of West Ham. We're not going to go there, but that's okay. Other than that, yes, he killed or basically PK'd the whole time and got so many max sets, he gave them out to everyone. There are 300 people in Bracket 3 potentially in front of us right now, all of which may have had a gear set up from West Ham. They are in the best gear. Well, not the best gear in the game, but they're in gear that is good enough to compete.
Absolutely.
And the fog has entered the final area. The chaos begins right now. The 2's on everybody. There's a lot of damage in this bracket as well due to the stats, the combat levels. Up to level 95, you can have 99 range, you can have 99 mage. Barrages will be flying everywhere. And Chinchombers, yes, you've got extra defense, but Sigils can deal a lot of damage. A lot of people right now, their health bars are just going to be instantly deleted.
Yeah, and right now you see literally everyone on the map, as we've seen in previous brackets too, are protecting from Mage. Obviously getting that prayer right, assuming they also have the Sigil of Pious protection will mean 35% damage reduction. But, you know, if you're casting Blood Barrage as well, you're kind of offsetting the damage that you're taking. Regardless, we are still seeing some Chinchompers and Javelins on this bracket. They hit like 50 pluses. You have two people that throw a javelin to your head at the same time. You are just dead in a split second. We'll see some dog swords as well, some melee capabilities. But currently, it's very hard to tell which side is taking it. I think Blue has actually done better at coming back into this.
Blue team seem to be having some people step into the no man's land, but they're not being completely evaporated. I think the blue team are pushing the yellow team back right now, and that is building us a great bracket 3 battle right now. What is happening? Like, are the yellow team also infiltrating? This is a good one right now. Anything that's not a one-way stomp, I honestly think the yellow team did so well in bracket 2, and in bracket 3, the yellow team were doing well. But for the blue team to bring this back right now, this is what we want to see, because now, who's winning? It's anyone's game.
I have an idea. Maybe there was one of those big clans that I was just talking about a minute ago on the back lines of the blue team. Maybe they were hiding, waiting for their moment to strike, and then suddenly they're like, well, you know what? The fog's hitting. Now's our chance. And now they've gone into the mix with full inventory of supplies. If they're able to push back against the yellow team, maybe their side can actually win. Obviously, going into this, every single play in this 2000 tournament finale, they were split into 2 teams, blue and yellow. Once one team is entirely wiped out, then it's free-for-all. Then the last 100 players go into the Colosseum. So they need to take part right now.
Is it actually confirmed that a team needs to be wiped out before the Colosseum? I do believe the Colosseum finale...
It could be 100, yeah.
I think it's starting at a specific threshold. When it jumps in the Colosseum, I'll try and see how many players are remaining.
I believe it's 100.
Right now, I think if it's 100 players, 120 players or something, it's not when one team wins, because I don't think we have seen a team clear another team in this beginning part.
You're not wrong. But once again, blue team has pushed back against the yellow. Yellow are falling so much faster. It's a complete turn of events, considering that they took that final area first. We just see Blood Barrage spam going in, trying to sustain themselves as best as possible. We still see Chinchompers flying left, right, and center, and we see a few of the more tanky players going down, full Armadyl sets. Once again, a looter's dream right here for you, Adam.
Oh, man. I'm not going to... I mean, my eyes have spotted Ranger Boots. Like, there is a pair of Ranger Boots just everywhere, and I always spot it. I'm spotting Ranger Boots. Zoriel staffs are everywhere, but I'm spotting
Void
those.
Wakers.
I can see a Void Waker. I'm just trying to see, is there an item that I just... There's a heavy ballista at the very top left of the screen. And it looks like someone died with some death runes, and that's like...
It is magnificent to see. Like, you know, we've had 3 weeks to play this demo mode, and all of this gear has been acquired from everybody who's playing, and, you know, got themselves the best possible capability to be able to take it as far as possible. We even see, like, an Armadyl pet right there. Oh, they've been gaming.
Oh, I think as soon as we get to bracket 4, there's going to be so many pets, because with Deadman Annihilation, you could PVM for points, and the points are what allow you to buy the cosmetic like items outside of Deadman after Deadman finishes, but also allow you to buy sigils, quests, ruinous powers, and all of that stuff. In bracket 4, most people will have been doing more PVM. We're going to see a lot of pets around the area. There's a Din's Bulwark on the ground at the very top right corner of the screen. But other than that, the yellow team look very scattered right now.
They do.
It doesn't seem to be much of a chunk. I think the blue team
has pushed them into
this
the bottom
time around,
right
judging by that chunk, judging by how many yellow capes I'm seeing falling, and that blue capes are on every single part of the screen except for this clump, I think the blue team have brought this back, and they potentially might wipe the yellow team out before the Colosseum.
Yeah, no, the yellow team going down here, and I think it will just be a blue team going free-for-all till the last 100 players are remaining, but maybe there'll be a few yellow team members, you know, scattered across. Like we see one at the top right-hand side going straight into the enemy lines. Maybe not the best idea, but he is surviving as best he possibly can. But now the fog's starting to hit 6s. The damage is ramping up significantly. And here we go. We are pushing ourselves into the Colosseum finale.
And here we go. I would honestly say this time around, I'm not sure how many players are remaining. I actually think a team may have been wiped before. And I see Capesh's going off in the bottom left. People dropping like flies. There is javelins throwing everywhere.
Or the DCB special we saw in factions as well. The AoE special attack may be combined with finality, giving 100% spec accuracy. No accuracy roll just to do that big damage. Take players out as best as possible. At the bottom left, we see a big team that's just standing there, not actually fighting back. A few of their tanks and such not getting involved. I would imagine right now the clan leaders are probably called into different quadrants, different corners, and the few people in the middle are going to get, you know, kind of pounced upon by everybody. You want to be in a corner, you want to be with your team. We see both facets. The Crystal Bow guys at the top. We see an Elysian Spirit Shield or two as well, just maging and literally full. That's the raid boss. Look at him right in the middle center. He's got the full Missouri on loads of mage defenses and Zoriel Staff and just blood barraging against significant opponents as best he can right now.
Again, I'm an unbiased commentator, but I've been talking about how the gear difference was going to be fantastic. There is a player, top left of the screen, full Missouri, Elysian Spirit Shield Serphelm. He is the raid boss of this Coliseum. I want to see him stand till the end. I want to see it happen, but we will have to find out. If a team was so coordinated in the first part of the finale, in this Coliseum right now, how many of these people are in the same call? How many are in the same team? Are we about to see 50 people standing in a team wiping out the competition?
Yep, that'll be interesting to see. I'll also say again, as I went into this, you asked me what kind of builds are we going to see, and mostly I said 70 defense is probably the one that most people go for. Obviously being able to take 95 range, mage, high hit points, 70 to 80 defense. We see loads of spirit shields. We see spectral spirit shields with loads of magic defense capabilities. Everyone's still praying mage. Most people just blood barraging, just sustaining as best they can. I'm not seeing any assassins trying to snipe opponents with javelins or dog sword specs, but maybe as the players whittle down, we'll start to see that as well, Adam.
Well, I've noticed one thing, and I only noticed it now in bracket 3.
Oh, there's a javelin taking someone's head off right at the top.
In bracket 3, obviously, everyone is put on a team with either a blue cape or a yellow cape. But there's only a few players that actually brought a cape to put it on in this final area. Most people don't have capes. And you could look around and some people have Mage Arena 2, which is a ton of magic accuracy and a ton of defense. And I've actually not noticed that until now.
It might make a difference, genuinely, like being able to catch those blood barrages to keep yourself like, never mind, that guy just died with the Mage Arena 2 cape as we were saying that.
Yeah, terrible strategy. Sorry,
terrible strategy.
Best,
should have had an extra brew instead for some more supplies. I was saying before as well about not seeing really too many javelins going in, but actually I saw quite a few javelin KOs. We do see a tank, a guy with a Din's Bulwark, running around like a headless chicken in circles, sprinting around the Coliseum, trying to get his laps in, that extra agility XP from the Agile. It's a fortune. Sigil we got that early on as well, the liveness sigil.
I would say one of the, the thing is, every single person in this arena right now has 99 agility. Every single person that played Deadman for more than a day has 99 agility. The sigil of life, I believe, 150, 250 points, very, very cheap sigil, basically gives you passive agility. No, my raid boss!
Oh, the raid boss, he's tanking, he's alive!
Come on, raid boss! I'm rooting for you!
I'll tell you
Don't fall!
One really interesting strategy I've seen as well, one gear set we've not talked about, the full Bloodbark. Having the full set gives you around... Oh no! The full Bloodbark guy, I'm rooting for him now. Quite interesting. I think the full set actually gives you an effect of like 30 to 40%, or it makes even 50% increased blood barrage healing. And obviously the Zoriel Staff as well gives you 50% blood barrage healing too. So that guy might be coming out on top, I reckon.
I'm going to say it. The tank is running around and his health is higher than most. And if I see 3 tanks win in a row, I'm going to be slightly disappointed. But my question as well is...
No one's targeting him. Why is nobody targeting him? Maybe they feel like if they can take everyone else down, he'll be an easy pickings at the end. Because obviously these guys do have a lot more DPS output. Like I said, there's so many javelins on the floor. There's dog swords. There's probably claws. There's void wakers. You can KO that guy. You can just send a 50 into his head and he'll fall over.
Well, he's just running around right now, but he's doing a fantastic job.
My money's on the Bloodbark guy. Honestly, I don't know. That strategy is fantastic. I'd love to see some names as well of some of these guys who got left. We're down to less than 10 players now in this bracket 3 finale.
It is going to be close. The Bloodbark guy has actually trying to hit the tank. He's actually using Blood Barrage only. He's not going for the Ice Barrage. I guess every single person right now is going for it. Health is very, very low on everybody except for our tank at the bottom. But maybe because the tank build doesn't seem to be that good in bracket 3, people didn't bring purple sweets. There's a few on the ground, as you can see from people falling. But these players, ignoring the tank, the 5 players still alive, do they have any purple sweets?
Oh, the tank goes down. Yes, let's go. Not a tank winning. Let's go.
Unbiased commentator.
Very unbiased.
Peace.
And the Bloodbark guy.
Bloodbark guy's winning right now.
He's doing great. It's such a unique strategy. I really figure that most people at the ending
Shifty to
would
boss,
be full
95
Missouri.
combat. Cornell take 95.
Yellow Luli, that's one of the
Yellow Luli.
That's one of the Infliction members from that huge alliance that I was talking about earlier, and they've been kind of dominating in the bracket 3.
There are 3 players left, 2 tank rangers and a Bloodbark guy. And it looks like The Bloodbot guy and the other one are attacking the Carol's
They
guy.
might be together. Maybe
And the
they're part of
Bloodbot
the team.
guy is looking healthy. Ian,
He's
the
looking
person that you're
very
rooting for,
healthy.
he has an own pet. The lot, he might be taking this one down.
It's such a unique strategy. Like, we all know what Bloodbug does. It increases your blood barrage
It's a
capabilities.
1v1.
Oh, how interesting. And now...
It's a 1v1.
Mamma
Mia
Mia.
73.
He's got the
versus
crossbow
Bloodbot,
out.
But he's got the crossbow.
But he's not praying mage. Now he's starting to pray range. He's got the Onyx bolts as well. The proc giving him extra healing as well. Who's going to win? The blood barrage or the bolts? The Dragonfire ward, the Carol's so much magic defense. And he might go down here.
He's
He
going
does
down.
flick the redemption though. But
He's
a 34
fallen.
KOs him. And Mamma Mia wins the finale. 73 Adam Smog.
Mama Mia 73 is our standard champion
No way.
of bracket 3. Carol's Barrows. What is that?
Dragonfire ward as well,
I
the
can't
Phoenix
remember.
necklace, the Verax helm, so much magic defense. It was too much for the Bloodbuck warrior
No
to handle.
hashtag coming in here, but he had a 2 versus 1 that he had to
did.
deal with. And I do believe one of those people was in the Infliction clan, which means I think Infliction may not have taken this win. This person seems to be someone else. They're not representing any team right now, no clan. Obviously, there's most likely they'd be in a call right now and they would be told to do it. This person could be solo. It could just be a random player
could be.
of Deadman mode taking this win from underneath all of the clans that have participated.
It could be one of the West Ham Warriors, his the army that he bought from his 300 sets that he gave out.
Zorials
We just
and
don't
Morrigans,
know.
if that was true. Zorials and Morrigans. And that, my friends, is the third bracket done. 81 to 95. And we have excellent work from Mamma Mia 73
No way.
to bring home the win.
Hearing you say that is so iconic. Not only the winner of the level 81 to 95 combat bracket, but also the winner of the Youtooz figure collection containing Rune and Dragon armor figures, Tim and Crunchy monitor buddies, and a StarForge OSRS keyboard with the Zuck Artisan keycap. As always, links to all these products are in the YouTube description and the Twitch pinned comment if you're getting a little bit jealous. What did you make of the bracket, B0aty? What do you think of Mamma Mia 73 taking the win?
Legend, honestly, legend. I think out of the battles, I think that might be my favorite bracket so far, and it's got me even more excited for bracket 4.
Same.
The fact that the yellow team, in my opinion, had the better strategy at the start to get in and control it, whereas the blue team weren't in the final area. The blue team had to solve that problem. They then solved the problem, and then they actually
pushed
turned
back.
it back
They
around.
did.
I think most of the yellow team were actually dead before the Colosseum began. I reckon they had very low double figures.
Yeah. That's what you love to see, like the turnaround, almost like the underdog story. You know, they had such a strong start. They were playing so offensively, and the other team just turned it around, pushed back, pushed them into a little corner, and then suddenly into the finale. And yeah, what a sight to behold. That was amazing. That was
We didn't
incredible.
get a hashtag, so obviously we had
We're
the
not
winner
too
of bracket
sure,
1 didn't say anything. With the winner of bracket 3 didn't say anything. Bracket 2, obviously Dino's team took it down, but we don't know. I would have to say, if it's just somebody that decided to give Deadman a go and enjoyed it and took the whole thing, I'm so happy for them if that's this. Other than that, if they are a team, we would love to find out, but time will tell for that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, maybe the other clans were all like going at each other's throats, trying to solve their clan feuds and such. And this guy that was just put into that team, obviously, you know, the whole server being cut down the middle in the yellow and the blue. Maybe he wasn't considered as a threat, and he just managed to make it all the way to the end, going unarmed, and then just turned it around, took the win. And Mamma Mia 73, no way.
It could honestly be a decent strategy. At that point, when you're in the higher brackets, the damage is so much higher.
Exactly.
Again, I was kind of rooting for someone that had Missouri and Elijah, but that stands out. And someone might be like, get that guy. Like, if you say, get the guy with Missouri and Elijah, you spot them straight away. If you're there, like, get the guy with, like, Carol's and the Dragonfire, you wouldn't really bother with that.
Yeah, or the Bloodbart guy, you'd think, like, when you start hitting him, he's just going to go down so quickly as, like, no defenses, whereas the real threat is the guy in the Giga armor, the raid boss, the Chad, in the Elijah and Spirit Shield, the Missouri, so, no.
But it makes you wonder, like, how good of a strategy would it be to enter into these brackets and not take the best gear in the game? Like, we're about to see, in my opinion, in bracket 4, a lot of the best gear in the game. But will we see them all being targeted because they stand out? Will there be so many of them that they blend in? Will there just be another guy with Carol's on, which is like your 4th best in slot or something for this situation? Take a win again. Yeah,
well, respectfully, every bracket has been a blast. They're getting better and better, and bracket 4 is going to be no exception. Bracket 4 is going to be the most ruthless, carnage-filled, the most competitive. Every single clan, all the official clans from the main old-school RuneScape scene, as well as from the Deadman modes and the last 3 weeks of battling it out, this one is going to be the one to watch. But before the final bracket, we're going to take a quick break to rest our voices, and don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very soon. But thanks for watching so far, and we'll see you again soon. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for waiting. We're about to get started with this final bracket, level 96 plus. But what are your predictions for this bracket, B0aty?
I think this is going to be the most competitive bracket.
It is.
This is where I believe all of the clans are going to be going for this win. I don't know what the word right now is, but let's say the prestige of winning the bracket 4 one, I think is the big one. Like, at the end of the day, like the lower brackets, again, we saw a tank win and all that stuff, but just anyone can make a quick level 60 build. Top bracket requires a lot of preparation, and then I just think there's going to be a lot more potential, let's say, skill gap or skill involved in the callers of the clans and everyone like trying to get together and all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of these clans have been playing this entire time in bracket 4 as well. We can talk a little about the clans and what kind of teams we're gonna think about going into this. So, based on my research from reaching out to all the different clan teams and leaders that I have known over the many years that I've been doing this now, I've been told that there are a few massive alliances. We'll start with Chivalry Legions and Vitality. This is a 150 to 200 man squad. Chivalry Legions are mostly an Australian alliance of just Australian players, 95% plus. We also have a Vitality in this as well. They are just full of Belgian and Dutch warriors. If they're winning, they're going to have their stroopwafels of Belgian chocolate poured all over, I'm sure, in celebration. We also have Infliction, who we saw in the last bracket, the Luli names that we saw and we mentioned about before. We have another team called Execution as well, led by Space Needle. They've been a clan that's been around since 45 days, a long time. And I've had word that there's a clan called Rot that might be playing as well. Officially, they're apparently not playing, so I guess maybe that's an excuse if they lose, and if they win, they can say, well, we didn't take it that seriously. We'll have to wait and see if they've actually been playing or not. There's, of course, the Dino CC, which we saw take a previous victory in bracket 2, I believe it was as well, or bracket 1. Then there's Blazers, led by Wiggle, the content creator. There'll be the Oda Block, Clan Chat, the Open Friends Chat as well. There are so many serious teams playing, and I can't wait to see which one takes it. Let's jump into it, B0aty.
Okay, so first thing I wanted to say, Ian, we are about to watch a 1,000 versus 1,000 clan war. I don't even know if that's ever happened. If you do, like back in the day, if you do return sets and all that stuff, last team standing, definitely over 1,000 lives would have been lost. But 1,000 players versus 1,000 players, I do not know if we've ever seen them. And once again, straight in here, we do have a mixture of, we have a yellow team rushing straight in potentially. Are they going for the initiative
so
instantly?
Aggressively. Now, a lot of these clans have feuds that go back many years. Every single weekend, they gear up, they fight in the main game on Saturday and Sunday nights. So they're here for blood. They want to take out their opponents as fast as they can. Obviously, winning the tournament, that's one thing. But making sure their opponents have no chance of getting to the final Coliseum area, now that's everything to play for.
Now, I said earlier, but we are actually playing a game, and everybody involved and watching right now is playing a game, and that is Spot the Darker. It's going to be hard. But if
Engineer, where are you?
If anyone can see an individual with Darox bop anyone, you have to bring it to the attention. It has to happen. Right now, this is the first of the finals we've seen where there is not a no man's land split over the center. It is cut
so different
through the middle.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that coming, actually. This is the first one where tactics are quite different. Strategies have not been the same as before. I would imagine the reason for that is because in this cutthroat finale, you know, with the maxed main bracket, there are so many more officially led clan teams, and right now it's just straight through the middle, north and south divide, and one person gets, you know, pushed out of the region, and look at him, look how fast he's going to go down. He actually escaped that.
No, he died.
And look at that push. Look at the dragon crossbow, maybe the sigil of finality right there, giving 100% special attack. The dragon crossbow, we saw that in the DMM factions as well. It's an AoE, hard-hitting special attack that just decimates opponents. Everyone's running Pious Protection as well, so if they do get the prayer wrong, everyone's praying Mage. If you are to spec with a dragon crossbow or a ranged weapon, it's going to deal 5% more damage, Adam.
Yep, and as well, like combined with the sigil of finality, I believe it is. Finality gives you a 100% chance for your next attack or special attack, or maybe only special attack, to actually guarantee a hit, which combined with the dragon crossbow has an AoE attack of 3x3, and like you said, Pious Protection, your praying mage, you have 35% damage reduction on praying mage, but range, you take 5% more damage. 5% of a guaranteed AoE dragon crossbow's pace is going to come in. It was in Deadman factions, like you also said. Team Saradomin utilized it beautifully and completely crushed the competition.
Oh, look at the yellow team pushing
right now. This is on point. The exact same thing. Look at the damage splats right now.
How fast they go down. Look at that. The clump right there. I think we just saw about 20 to 50 people fall in a matter of absolute seconds. What great clan coordination there by the yellow team, who were just obliterating their opponents in a flash.
Well, right now as well, the yellow team are in and completely controlling the final area. The blue team have choke points that they need to get to. If the fog was to start hitting right now, the yellow team could literally eliminate the blue team so fast. They're out of position because I think yellow team have forced themselves out of position. And in this one right now, we can barely even see the yellow team because they are controlling the center of this game. Look at this positioning. Right now, they are in the previous no man's land. They are not going to be in the fog when it starts. The blue team, they are all going to be hit by fog the moment it starts.
Yes, the yellow team right now, having that like central area, they have so many different spaces that they can like, you know, kind of wrap around, whereas the blue team are kind of forced between 2 or 3 little tiles. And if they get caught in those 2 or 3 little tiles, they get frozen there. They can't push through. They get clumped up, and then the onslaught, the 11 by 11 barrage spam, the chompers that you just see flying across the screen, left, right, and center, that will just eradicate them in absolute seconds.
Right now, it is quite difficult, but they do need to work it out. But again, this is bracket 4. There is no slouch going on here. There are teams on both sides right now, and they are all going to be very coordinated, and they're all going to be very good, regardless of if we think they are doing better. I don't think this is going to be a one-way stomp. If it is, I'll be very, very surprised. The fog is already moving in, and I think the yellow team are genuinely right up against the side of the final area, or the blue team just stuck in the fog. It's only hitting ones right now. It will be hitting much harder later. But is the damage output in bracket 4 on the yellow team enough just to take the blue team out before they can even get into the final area, let alone at the Coliseum, let alone even dealing damage back to the yellow team to bring them down?
Yeah, right now, it's really hard to tell actually who's potentially in the lead, but I'd say the blue team having that, you know, that pushing them towards the fog, getting stuck in the fog there is so bad, so difficult to come back from. Right now, in this middle, in this no man's land you keep talking about, there isn't a very clear divide. It looks like a lot of the teams have kind of just jumped inside each other, and they're just trying to make up the space and then start to focus certain members down as fast as possible.
Well, we've seen the yellow team take the final area again in bracket 3, but the blue team, they brought it back. Will we potentially see the same thing happen again? Will it be an equal fight? Are we going to see the finale area, the Coliseum, have 50% players of each team? Or is it going to be a control from one of the other teams? We will find out, of course, when players go down. We saw a moment ago, there are still 1,500 players alive right now. That could be 750 on each team, or it could be 1,000 on one, 500 on another.
One thing I'm noticing as well is, as before we just saw barrage spam non-stop with a few chompers. Here we're seeing people use Morrigan javelins, using the Zarite crossbow or crossbows in general, because obviously everyone's praying mage. So if you are able to coordinate, you're able to pile certain players one at a time. Using that range on these attacks with 99 range, with all the prayers, all the DPS that you have, everyone's sitting around in Carols at the very least, but some people in Armored or some people in Missouri. The DPS you have can really take people down in a matter of seconds in multi in this max main bracket. I see javelins, I see even a few volatile specials as well, trying to microwave their opponents.
I can see a Darok set.
Oh, you see a Darok guy. Did you see one in the middle?
He was top right. He had a lot of health, though, but I did see a Darok set.
And you were talking about the pets as well in this bracket. I have not seen this many pets in any of the brackets, and there's so many around the outer rim. Look at that.
It's because, again, most people in bracket 4, if you have the max stats, PVMing for points is probably worth it. And again, most pets, if not every single pet that's going to be seen on the screen, was under the kill count required that you would have to actually get it. Drop rates are boosted in Deadman mode, but pets are not. So right now, again, there is nobody here that actually got a pet on the rate of the main game. They are all just earned under the rate. Oh. And because of them doing the PVM, that's why there are so many.
Yeah. I would say right now, yellow team is probably looking stronger. They were the team that really pushed the blue team out to the edge. The blue team got stuck in the fog and lost a lot of units very quickly. How will the blue team come back from this, though? They're going to have to start pushing soon and start to play a little bit more aggressively, or they might be wiped out before the Fortress Coliseum finale.
I mean, I'm seeing similar to what happened in bracket 3. Of course, that doesn't confirm that it's going to happen again, but the blue team have managed to pull now into the final area.
They have
and the
pushed
yellow
it
team
back
are on the
really
right
well.
side, and the blue team look like they are actually in the no man's land again. Last time we saw the yellow team getting pushed against it because, again, when the fog starts hitting now, you can't leave the final area. If you do, the fog will hit huge damage. If you look at the very top right, that guy took a 7, then a 9 straight away. The damage is crazy. Top right of the screen, people are stepping out of the fog. Guy with the bulwark out there, you take 30 damage immediately. 18, 19, the guy with the just this your helm, top right, taking the fog damage.
22, is he going down?
Fall.
16,
get back in the final 25,
area, bro,
you're dead,
bro.
Oh, the other guy's gone. That is the damage of the fog right there. If you step out for even a tick You get hit at 30 right now,
Yeah.
and you cannot afford that.
Yeah,
that is why everyone's in there. The guy at the top right states his helm with the Ruinous Prowess. Another guy goes up another 30. The 30s are everywhere right now. That guy's going to fall in the middle. He's gone down in the graveyard, bro. The grave's been dug for you, mate. Congratulations.
Oh, no. Yeah, call out position here is absolutely deadly. That Poisonous Fog will just take you down in a matter of seconds. Looking right now, yellow team playing quite defensively. A lot of people just on the back lines actually, keeping their supplies as long as they possibly can, not actually getting involved, not even throwing blood barrages to sustain themselves. They're just staying right in the corner. I think they just feel like maybe they've done so much at the early stage of this tournament that the blue team just can't really come back from this. But blue team has pushed back. And once again, this no man's land, anyone that steps foot in here just gets taken out in a matter of seconds. Look at the guy in the middle, Adam.
I actually, oh my god, okay, this guy's
people are
been
going down
there for
so
a while.
quick.
But again, like if you were in playing this right now, there's so many players. This must be one of the harder ones to do. But what do you even do? You just cast the barrage anywhere, and you're going to hit 11 players if you use it.
Oh my god! I just saw an assassin fly through. He just disappeared into the mist. I think that was Torvesta. Little do they know, he had dragon claws. He was taking people down left, right, and center. Looking at the left-hand side, once again, the blue team kind of getting pushed back now. Yellow team playing a lot more aggressively. They're starting to push them once more. Look at all the people falling on the left-hand side right there, like flies, Adam.
There's a lot of
Lambs
damage
to the
going
slaughter.
on. It is a lot of damage, and I'm just seeing people stepping out the fog for reasons I don't know. Maybe it's just a panic click, maybe
they're
something like that, and
getting pushed too far.
just so much damage. This guy, obviously, I don't know what he's doing over there, bro. There's another guy stepping out. Oh man, there's a Hellhound Pet just went and walked away. You know, he's gone.
There's
back
a Bulwark guy right at the north as well. Got to be careful. He's in the graveyard zone, the land of no return. Yeah, I'd say yellow team right now on the right-hand side do have a pretty significant advantage. Blue team need to start pushing. Need to kind of spread out a bit further south. It is hard to render in all the players. There are thousands of players in this final area.
I would say right now, again, I wouldn't say any team is actually winning like outright. And I think this, of all of the tournaments, is going to be the longest fight. I think before we see the Fortis Coliseum, I think it'll be faster than one defense. Longer than one defense, because I think it's going to take most people so long to like actually die. When you take too much damage.
Well, they have higher defense, don't they, as well? So yeah, they're going to be taking less damage overall. And everyone's got blood barrage. I see so many Zuriel staffs, right? The 50% increased blood barrage healing. That's sustainability. Everybody's got one.
Basically, the goal to stay alive, blood barrage is going to be one of the best things you can do. And I think people as well, they've got purple sweets. I think if you're playing to win, you're going to have purple sweets. Even a few hundred of them in the final area just to boost that health again. Stackable food heals you between 1 and 3. And obviously, as it's stackable, if you have 10,000 sweets and the average heal, let's say, is just 2, you got 20,000 hit points if you're able to actually eat them. Assuming I said 10,000 and whatever. But that being said, this no man's land, I'll move away from it. I don't know why people. Oh, I full Thorax set there. I thought it was Thorax for a second.
I do see a few players, like that guy right in the middle. He has the Missouri top on for some mage defense, the Virtus skirt, the Avernic shreds, and he's actually just constantly doing blood barrage, not having to eat any food. I see him going down to like maybe 60 HP for a split second, and straight back up to full. That's a very smart strategy.
Again, with everyone praying mage, I mean, like right now, I'm looking around. Is anyone praying anything but magic, minus the redemption guy over there? I just see protect from magic everywhere. The odd redemption here and there. Nobody's really praying range, but I think if you turn pray range on here, you're just going to immediately wipe. I would predict everybody is running pious protection. Protect from magic plus 35% extra damage reduction against magic spells is what you're going to be using to survive this.
And I think any second now, these players, it looks like to be almost the last 100, going to be teleported into that Fortis Coliseum area. It'll be interesting to see which clans are left, where they rotate, how they usually place themselves. We see people in absolute max, the full Virtus, trying to get a bit more healing, a bit more sustainability as best they possibly can. I'll be curious to see as well in that final. We're going to see some Darok sets, we're going to see some VLSs, some Kapeshas, maybe some Javelins as well going certain people's ways. I'll have to wait and see.
Well, what I wanted to ask as well while this battle is raging on is, in these situations where there's so many players, do you really think with this many people you can have an edge on strategy to actually take to the final against fighting against numbers? If you had 200 people that were very, very good against 500, can you possibly win with this happening?
Multi is a big numbers game, but ultimately, if you're standing around just eating damage through the fog and the other team is better positioned and you're clumped up and they're sending, blood barrages, they're sending javelins, they will take down those members. 200 people and 500 people, ultimately, if the 200 people are going to be hitting the 500 that 500 is 250 in a matter of seconds. So numbers is part of it, but I think strategy and actually making sure you're constantly fighting, constantly doing damage whilst healing yourself at the same time, that's what makes the difference, Adam.
I think the main difference in this one right now is going to happen when they spawn into the Coliseum. At that point, that is where everything changes, I think, because obviously the numbers have been whittled down so much. But again, when you've got 1,000 people on each side, you just have to cast a barrage in the right place, and it's going to do the same as anybody else, basically. So when they teleport into the Coliseum, that is when the callers get their moment to shine, because at that point, strategy is going to be so much more important than this one. Right now, you just stand on one side, barrage the other side, done. In the Coliseum, you're going to be moving all over. You're going to be told where to go, rotating around. There's going to be so much more going on.
Speaking about strategy, really interesting, on the right-hand side, that was where the yellows are. There's so many yellow players on the right-hand side of the map, but I actually see a couple of blue capes in the mix. And because they're like kind of blending in with the yellow players, they're actually inside of them. They can just throw blood barrages in any direction a couple tiles away, and they're going to get those huge stacks. And if they are spread out, these blue players that have hidden amongst the yellows, then they can't get targeted as easily. Since they are quite spread out, the blood barrage won't be as powerful.
Well, I'm starting to look around, and I agree. I can see a lot of the blue capes,
yeah,
but I'm seeing
actually
yellow
infiltrated.
capes almost everywhere. And normally when I only see one colored cape more often than another, I think that's just simply put, they are winning. And right now, I think Yellow Team must be winning. They are everywhere on the map, and there is precious few blue capes right now. So I think, once again, the Yellow Team might be getting revenge for the blue team. Well, the Yellow Team, because blue team won bracket 3, in my opinion, before they went into the Coliseum. I think Yellow Team are going to get the revenge here. I do think the Yellow Team right now is winning. There is a blue cape here. There's a blue cape there. And it is time.
It's happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, someone fell immediately. Good Deadman mode for you, mate. 118 players remaining.
How are we seeing naked people in the finale of the Fortress Coliseum again, Adam? How have they survived for so long? Are they going down, to be fair?
I don't know, but Happy Man 42, my friend. He has nothing. He's green. He's the legend. How long does Happy Man 42 survive for? He's punching. He's gone down. Unhappy Man 42.
So it looks like there's a few clumps of players that might be working together. Look at the top left. You see them all firing blood barrages in unison towards the southwest area. I mean, right away when you get teleported into the Fortress Coliseum, your leaders, your callers, they'll be saying, clump up in this area. Let's start taking people out one by one to give us the best chance possible at winning. In this bracket, you cannot be idle. There's no such thing as a tank. Everyone's got high tank capabilities and high offensive DPS capabilities.
This is what I mean about where the callers get important. Look at everyone moving around. There are places to be and places where you don't want to be.
That guy in the middle got eradicated out of position right there.
Previously, it was just two teams of so many people in one area. Right now, we don't know how many teams are in here right now. It's basically a free-for-all, but everyone's over the place. We had a Vesta's Longsword spec coming out. I can see Confliction Gauntlets on a lot of people right now. Confliction Gauntlets will allow your mage spell to roll again if you splash, increasing those blood barrages, and even maybe some ice barrages, to control anyone.
I mean, still in this area, everyone is praying mage, because obviously the blood barrage spam is just so strong with the Confliction Gauntlets you mentioned, with the Virtus gear, everything maximum best in slot possibilities. So many Elysian Spirit Shields as well, Spectrals for huge magic defense as well. But as these numbers go lower, we will see some more VLSs coming out, some dog swords, some bow facets perhaps as well, or some just crossbows flying left and right. Then it comes into more of an NHing situation where you want to try and hit your opponent off prayer and do as much damage as possible.
Again, I'm looking around, and the only thing I can see is pray mage. If there's anybody praying range, I just think it could be good. It's probably not, but
not just yet.
Again, the gear on most people here is crazy good, because we are in bracket 4 right now, and everyone is moving around right now. I'd love to hear the voice communications. Is there a dominant team right now with 30 of these 45 people left moving around? Will we find out if a clan has managed to dominate in the bracket 4? In my opinion, the most prestigious bracket to win it.
Yeah.
We have had a bracket 1 winner, we've had a bracket 2 winner, we've had a bracket 3 winner, but bracket 4 is what we want. Odablock is still alive. He just fell.
Is here.
He's still alive. He's in the middle of the screen.
I see him
is in the
right
dead
middle.
center.
I also see Wiggled here as well, leader of Blazers, just next to him. These guys are both clan leaders. Wiggle does go down for Blazers. Omar has the heart prayer up. Redemption trying to stay alive as long as he possibly can.
He's doing his best. We have names everywhere right now, but it's hard to see what's going on here. We're just going to know what names we can.
Omar went down. Odablock is down, but he got into the top 50. Players made it so far. I see Mika, DMM at the top left as well. Is that Greg? That might be Greg as well, one of the spam names. Right there, capital B at the top.
Hey, Mika brought his max cape. I see that right now.
the victim as well. One of the GG people, and also winner of last year's Allstars, the solo mission Snakes. He's made it so far. Dino, X is that as well. I'm seeing so many content creators make it into the final few.
Can we see a content creator victory here? Dino, someone falls down, Pirate Gang. Mika is on a thread of health. His max cape, unfortunately, won't be helping him here. You did get 99 hit points, but everybody in this arena has 99 hit points, Mika. Maybe you should have been mining the rocks, but can he hold this down? Greg looks like he's going low. He's under the name Big. We have someone in the southeast. I'm looking around to see who actually has the highest hit points right now. And I think right now there's a lot of, like, Mika is still alive right now. He's still moving.
Dino just KO'd
Dino takes down Greg.
He took Greg down. There's no way. The VLS, he's going again. An assassin, but he's out of food. He's out of luck, and Dino is out of the game right now.
We are going to have a winner very shortly. Mika
Mika's
is still
here.
alive. He's trying his best. His Deadman All-Star stock is going up high right now. He has unfortunately fell. His Deadman All-Star stock is now rock bottom. Welcome has fallen down. Very ugly Cobb has fallen down. Fat Cat Pat is still standing. We've got a few people left. Any content
I'm
creators?
seeing, yes, right here, bottom right screen, B0aty. This guy's been around for a very long time. Insane, no honor PK. Makes some YouTube videos, I think, as well. Maybe an up-and-coming member of the DMM All-Stars in the future based on this performance.
Mod Manx has entered the arena, my friends, and he's left the arena straight away.
It's over for everyone else.
B0aty unfortunately falls. Fat Cat Pat falls down. Mr. Rico's going on. Here we go.
Missed
the
down.
VLS, he goes down.
Wins.
We've got a winner of Kalmar. Is the bracket 4 Deadman Annihilation winner. Slayer Helm, Phoenix Necklace, Armadillo Crossbow. This guy has done it. Do we get the name of the team he was with? Is he a solo player? He is your winner of the bracket 4 Deadman Annihilation Finale.
What a war that was. So many content creators in the finale. And Kalmar's, that is a name that I recognize. I can't remember off the top of my head which clan he's a part of. Maybe we can get confirmation. Mod Goblin, are you repping anybody, Beast? We'll get confirmation very soon. Thank you, Mod Goblin.
Mod Goblin is entered the arena looking like a Virtus body or something. I don't know. Come on, Kalmars.
But yeah, seeing so many content creators in that finale there, that was so epic. That was one of the most insane multi-finals I've ever seen. I think we saw Greg, we saw Odablock, we saw Mika, we saw Dino. So many familiar names
Wiggled
from the
as
scene.
well was there.
He said hashtag Dino. No ways. Even
Ladies
though
and
Dino
gentlemen,
fell.
Dino has taken, well, not Dino, but the Dino Open Friends Chat has taken 2 of our Deadman Annihilation brackets. And with the carnage finally over, a massive congratulations to our level 96 bracket winner, Kalmars.
Incredible. As well as Everlasting Glory, they'll also win the Youtooz figure collection containing Rune and Dragon armor figures, the Tim and Crunchy monitor buddies, and a StarForge OSRS keyboard with the Zuck Artisan keycap. Now, if you want to get your hands on any of the goodies shown today, you can check out the links in the YouTube description or pinned comment on Twitch to get more information. I'm sure Dino will be messaging Kalmars asking for his split of the prize.
Now, before we go, let's take one last look at all the winners that took victory in their respective combat bracket today.
Okay, so first up in the 45 to 60 bracket, we have Desailly, who I was told was a member of Sardako, the WoW content creator, turned old school as a content creator, Clan Chat. So that's a win for him as well.
Congratulations to Desailly. In our 61 to 80 bracket, Calculator V4 takes that down, and he was representing Dino.
And I believe second in that bracket was actually another content creator, Solo Mission. He almost won that bracket too. In the bracket 3, we have Mamma Mia 73 in the 81 to 95 combat bracket, and Adam for the 96 plus.
Kalmars is our winner of the 96 plus, and once again, similar to bracket 2, representing Dino.
A huge thank you to everyone that's taken part in this year's Deadman mode, and to all of you at home for joining us for the finale. We hope you've enjoyed the show. And maybe some final thoughts before wrapping up, Adam?
I'm going to say it. Best moment for me still stands that Dragonfire
The
Shield
Dragonfire.
KO in bracket 1. That was so surprising, so unexpected, and just not something you've seen in RuneScape for such a long time. To see that utilized, to actually... I don't think he won, though. I think he came second, unfortunately, but he had the
It was
tech.
still cool.
That was such a good moment. Other than that, I didn't spot any Darkers, and... yeah, I think that was fantastic. Bracket 4 did not disappoint. I was very excited for that one. Seeing all those content creator names as well. Mika was in there.
Yes.
We had Greg. Odablock was in there. We had Dino in there. Wiggled went down as well. There may have been some more. I apologize if we have missed any content creators that were in that finale that maybe we didn't say. It was carnage. We were looking at everything. It was going crazy.
I was going to say the exact same thing. For me, it was personally that ending, seeing all the content creators. It was just absolutely fantastic. What a finale to see. And with that being said, thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you again next time for the next Deadman mode or the Deadman All-Stars this summer. Don't forget to check out the Gillinor Games finale tonight as well. By Soup. And bye, everybody, for now. Take it easy.
Hope you enjoyed the broadcast.